Yeah, she said she like them pretty boys. She ain't met no one like me up in the city, boy. Yeah, she said she like them pretty boys. She ain't met no one like me in the city, boy. I tell you my temporary feelings, and you gon' make it permanent decisions. I tell you my temporary feelings, and you gon' make it permanent decisions. Now, you're just a face in the crowd. We been running around, so they know me now. I'm trying to smoke a whole pound, baby, how does that sound?
Hello and welcome back to Beers with Buds. I'm your host, Andrew Freedman, the cannabis sommelier. Today I'm joined by my bud, a good bud, but it's the first time we've actually ever met in person. We're kind of internet friends, even though we only live 30 minutes apart. Harmon, Dirty Harry, Harm Franklin. No, he hates the Dirty Harry. He's giving me the no. I'm like, 100%, you got to go watch the KOTD battles.
No.
Everybody's getting snitched in the first 30 seconds.
No, it's Harm Franklin, formerly, I guess, Dirty Harry. Yeah, that's, first time me and Andrew actually meeting. We should cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
How many other aliases do you have?
Oh, man, bro, I think of nicknames, like, you ask, like, any of the homies, like, I think of nicknames, like, everywhere. Everything is a nickname. Like, yo, like, I just talk weird. I just say, like, Williams after anything. Or, like, yo, that's Heat Williams. Or, like, yo, fucking, I don't know. I just talk like a weirdo. So I got a lot of nicknames, man. Big Frank, jokingly. Poppy Frank. A lot of shit.
That's awesome.
Harmon Veer, you know.
That's fantastic. Big Ben Franklin. Just kidding. I have no
Yeah, how many
idea.
nicknames do you have?
Oh, man, a million. A million.
I know, obviously,
Yeah,
D-Fangs.
D-Fangs, Fingers, Andy Fingers. That's how it ended up as D-Fangs, because I'm just Andy Fingers, and then people got lazy and started calling me Andy Fangs, and it's just D-Fangs.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Wax Daniels.
That's a fucking cool name.
Yeah, the cannabis sommelier.
Yeah, of course.
You know, yeah. So we met through music because I was saying, we just went and smoked a nice backwood, and I wanted to be a battle rapper. That's how I found out about you. That's why I went to the Dirty Harry thing right away. But you've been in music for years. Like,
yeah.
So those battles now must be like 7-8 years old. Like that's awesome.
Definitely, yeah. That was like my like introduction into like performing, I guess, like for people. You know what I mean? And like it got me into actually performing and like doing shit like act, you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm high as shit. And we're just getting started. But it got me into like fucking performing, and like it was a segue for me to like meet promoters that would like do shows and shit and be like, okay, yeah, this guy's solid, and like, you know what I mean? I actually originally just did it to get my music out more.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You were making music before.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to just be a battle rapper because that's terrifying and intimidating.
That's just like, yeah, exactly.
What kind of music did you start making? Like, who would you say was what kind of, who were you trying to emulate when you first started? Because
I don't know, man. I was just like rapping. It was a way different style that I was doing back then. I was more like, I feel like a lot of people when they started, it's more like real hip hop, like, you know what I mean? Like, quote unquote, but like all just like more traditional style.
Yeah.
And then like you start like growing and like, you know what I mean? Experimenting and trying different sounds and
getting
whatnot.
your own thing.
Yeah, exactly. And my first song I ever released, it was a remix to Lil Wayne, I'm Single.
Okay.
And like, it was like, there was one line everyone loved. It was like, I'm single like a quarter pounder. And like, everyone loved that bar. I was like, okay. I was like, then I dropped another one, and like people are like, oh wow, I actually like this. Like, this is really good. Like, you know, you should keep making more. I was like, okay. And then I did the battle, and then I dropped like a couple of videos, and like people really liked those, and like they did like pretty well for like at the time. And
is punchlines what attracted you then? Were you like, okay, this is where the heat is? Because that's kind of the whole point of battle rap, right? Is like you make a punchline and people either love it or hate it.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because like when I first started rapping, me and my boy Sam at the time, we would just like, because we would listen to like Lloyd Banks and like Cassidy, Jadakiss, like just these like sick rappers and whatnot, and we would just like try to think of like crazy punchlines like they do, and like that just like kind of morphed into me like writing raps, and like junior high, like kids, like, you know, that's when I met Newell. Actually, they would like come up to me and be like, oh shit, is always like the rapper kid, yo, spit some raps, and I'd like rap like one or two like dinky little lines, and they'd be like, oh, like, you know what I mean? So then fucking Yeah, it started from just like writing punchlines. So I always had a thing for it.
I love that story. I'm the rap kid because people used to do that to me. That's how I started rapping. I don't know if anybody knows that on this podcast, but I'm gonna show you the Cannabis Sommelier freestyle after because there's a theme song for this. It's heat.
You gotta let me ad lib in the back. Let's go.
Oh man, but I got
gunshot sounds in the back.
I did that on the streets of Chicago at like 3 a.m. and shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
anyways,
dangerous.
This dude, I was like, I was dressing like a skater gangster kid.
Sag loc?
Yeah, sag loc, exactly.
That's you gotta explain what a sag loc is to people.
Sag and loc, like you're just like a sag skater kid, XL tall tee, white tee. You're probably chilling at Millennium at Mills, and you're just a
pants like barely like 6 inches above your knees.
Oh yeah, they're just hanging on. I used to tie it with a shoelace so that they just kind of hang on right above the knee, and your shirt's just falling up down. Yeah. Anyways, this dude was like, yo, rap battle me. And I was like, no way.
Fuck?
And he's like, yeah. He's like, you want to dress like a gangster and you're not going to rap battle me? He's like, fucking rap battle me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess I have to do it.
Yeah.
And he just clowned me. Like, this guy was so ruthlessly mean to me.
Shitty feeling, huh?
I was like, what the fuck? I was like 13 years old, and this guy was probably like 17 or 18, and he just fucking was ruthless. Like, I remember one line, it rhymed so good, and he's like, I'm fucking raping your baby sister. And I was like, I've never met this guy. And I was like, oh, I have a baby sister. And that moment, I was like, yo, I better learn to be a rapper. I was like, this is never fucking happening again. Never again.
Like, I'm gonna stay strapped. It's like, like if like you ever like you get jumped or something, then you're like more, sometimes you might,
Yeah, I got
I
got lyrically jumped straight up.
That's the funniest thing, because like people always make fun of in battle rap people saying like I lyrically did this, you know what I mean? It's like, but you literally got lyrically jumped.
Came after me, and I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna be a rapper. And I literally every morning I still freestyle. Oh yeah, every morning I still freestyle. It's like my favorite way to wake my brain up. Get in the shower, put on a beat, and just like throw bars.
That's sick.
And try and do different timing, because that's the one hardest thing as I've progressed, is like learning where your flow is, and that you don't always just have to like I like rapping fast, but it's better when I enunciate, it sounds like, because my punchlines are more heat.
Yeah, I'm saying like people that like the flow is like, it's underrated how much goes into the flow, I guess, for a lot of people, because like people like that are like, like traditional, like the older stuff, or like whatever, they would like hate on someone like Young Thug. And like I think there was an interview where like J. Cole was saying this, but he's like, yo, if you're like a fan of rapping and like you know what I mean, like flows and whatnot, like and you listen to Thug, like he's a legend, but like because like just how intricate he is and like how original the flows are, but like, you know what I mean. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how I trailed off.
I hate Lil Wayne, but I'm just gonna jump in with that. Yeah, you're like, my first song was a Lil Wayne remix. I like all through my life I've been like, this my car. No, have you listened to
the Carter 2 or the Carter 1?
I've listened to like select songs that people have shown me, but none of it has really got me stoked, and I probably haven't given it as much of a chance as I could have, because I was just like a purist. I was a hip hop purist, like you were talking about. Like I was one of those guys. Like one time I got tickets to a Jay-Z concert.
Yeah.
Box seats, and it took me like 5 phone calls to find somebody who wanted to go to Jay-Z with me.
What?
Because people would go, fuck Jay-Z,
and I'm
like,
me?
oh my god,
like, are you kidding me? What the hell, man? I've heard that like Jay-Z, that last time he came through, a couple of my friends went for like the 444 concert. They're like, that was one of like the craziest, like the dopest shows they've ever seen.
Yeah, Jay-Z's a legend.
He's a legend, man.
Okay, tell me about your music career. It's past being the rapper kid, and people making you rap. Like how did it all start? Record a first song.
Yeah, recorded a couple shits, and like I just noticed that like people like kind of believed in me, so I just like went further with it. And then and for a while I was just like fucking around, like just doing, having fun in it, because I enjoyed it and like I had love for it. And like then we started like doing some bigger shows and whatnot, and like opening for people like Meek and like Big Sean, French, Fab, all these crazy big artists. And like I was starting to notice though that like, you know what I mean, like the promoters at the time, like they weren't really doing much like for the artists. Like they were just like getting you to sell the tickets, and like you don't even get to even like meet the guy, or like, you know what I mean, try to like pass a USB offer to someone, or like something, you know what I mean, make some sort of connection. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, whatever. So whatever. I just kept doing that. It was more like basically bragging rights and just like doing it. And
But
like,
were you making sure you're passing USBs? Because like that was one of the hardest things for me, and I'd always just be like whipping them or leaving them places and shit.
yeah, that's the thing though, because like it was like as a DJ and producer, it's different. It's like that's way easier to hand it off. But like I feel like with like rappers and like you know what I mean, like those sort of guys, like it's like it's just such a negative connotation because there's a lot of whack people that do that. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know.
Sucks.
Yeah, I just like didn't really rock it as much like that, but like I don't know. Now I've just like kind of made the organic connections with people. Like now I've started to throw. Oh, this is like fast forwarding a lot into the future, sort of. But like just in that case with the shows, like I used to do it like that, but now it's like I've thrown my own shows now, and I've learned what it's like. Like the first one I lost like $1,500. Second one I brought out this dude Nestle from Atlanta.
Okay.
Who's signed to like Atlanta or Republic. He's got songs with like Ski Mask, like Lil Yachty. Like he's pretty big.
Okay.
But yeah, I brought him out. But it was like a crazy show, and I just did it. And I co-headlined it through it myself, and it was just crazy. And I did a couple more songs.
Did that one make money?
No. That was the first one, and I lost $1,500 for
Okay.
that. So the second one, I brought out Puffy L's from Toronto, who was like he was on tour with Drake right before that, and like you know he's a buzzing artist. And so that one I only lost like a couple $100, like $300, and I just looked at it as an investment because I'm like, whatever, I could have bought like a sweater or something, but instead I threw this crazy show and like
I had a party.
Yeah, you know, I killed it and turned up, and that was at like so the first one was at Morgan's Pub. It was at Morgan's Pub. Like the capacity was like 140, and we did like or the capacity was 150, and we did like 165.
Wow.
So the second one. We did it at Music. You probably know that one. And we did like 275 on a Thursday night, and tickets were like $20. So it was proper. And then this last one I did was the first one I actually made a profit. It's because I brought out my homeboy Curtis Waters, who's like he used to just be a producer, but like you know what I mean. He's like slowly become an artist in his own. And you should check out Prom Night by Curtis Waters. That album, honestly, I'm like unbiasedly saying that's the dopest like album I've heard ever come out of Calgary. Like in my opinion, man. Awesome. It's like not even rap. It's like alternative 80s synth pop with like bubblegum trap, and like it's its own shit, man.
That's cool. Sounds like it's ready to blow up.
Yeah, bro. Like he's doing well too. Like he's killing it. But he's just out in North Carolina, like in working. I mean, in
Carolina.
In university. Yeah, his parents got a job out there, so we've been separated. So I had to bring I brought his ass back out here, and like. Yeah, we killed him, man. It was crazy.
That's awesome. So when did it turn into a business? Because you did a tour in Europe. Yeah. Was that this summer?
That was last summer.
Yeah. No follow-up tour this summer?
We'll see. We'll see. It was good because like I'm probably spending some time out in Toronto, but so I'm kind of focusing on that. But we'll see. You never know. But I felt like I've been treating it more seriously over the past like. Probably like 2 or 3 years after I put out the Learning Curve 3, because I saw like people really like the songs, and like you know like the people still listen to The Condo. Like all people tell me that all the time. That's one of their favorite songs. So sorry. Fuck, where was I?
Whatever. I got a new question. When was the first time you got paid?
First time I got paid, like
for like performing,
for like nicely, and I was like, wow, like I can do this shit. The first time I got that, I was like, one of my songs was the official theme song for the Edmonton Rush.
Okay.
So like the lacrosse team.
Huge.
But now I think they're the Saskatoon Rush.
Okay.
So basically, one of my songs, my sister, like we know them, right? Like we know the people that run it. My sister does. So she's like, yo, I need. They had like yoga or something, whatever, talking. They're like, yo, we need like a new a song for them to come out to, and like you know more urban, like, but we don't know. And then my sister's like, oh, like yo, like my brother, blah 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 blah, Dirty Harry at the time, or Harm Franklin, and their son already like fucked with my stuff, so it was like perfect. He's like their son. I got the stamp from their son. They're like, yeah, this guy's fire. So they paid me like pretty nicely for like the rights to that song.
I bet that was real money.
Yeah,
that's like a good one where they're gonna play it a lot, and they play it on loudspeakers.
It was so every home game that season of 2016 they came out to that song. And like they brought me out there for the season opener to perform like right before the face off,
and paid you for that too.
Yeah, it was dope, man. And like it was like that was probably the most crowd that I've done. There was like 8,000 people at that one.
That's huge because it's in the big stadium, right? Because it's the NLL or whatever, the National Lacrosse League.
It was back when Edmonton still had Rexall Place, so that's where it was.
That's crazy. on another note, lacrosse game, one of the most boring things I've ever watched.
Really? I thought they were pretty turned, man. I thought it was more of like, it was more like there wasn't as many people as a hockey game, but I was like, man, if this place was full, this would be way more rowdy than a hockey game.
You really have to pay attention to know where the ball is. That was my big problem.
Yeah,
I was like, every time I'd take a sip of beer or eat something, like there'd be a goal or like, you know, all the guys are waving their sticks, and how do I can I see the white ball? What the fuck is going on? It was pretty fun, but I didn't get to see there was no fights at the one game I went to.
I think there was like a couple fights at the one I saw, and like the owners hooked me up with some crazy seats, so I was like, damn.
You were in it. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so what about like shows, like locally?
Shout out Cindy and Bruce.
Yeah,
if I want to hear this.
You guys are G's.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, just need like 50 of those breaks in a row, and things would have been awesome.
Yeah. So
do you do music full time now?
Nah, I don't do it full time yet. I do it like where like some months I'll like tear it up and like I'll be good, and then some months I don't. You know what I mean? So it's like it's inconsistent. So I still do a part time gig.
Do you full time hustle on it though?
Oh, most definitely. I'm like always I'm always at it, man. I'm always working. I'm all like, for a while, for like 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'm like, okay, yo, this year, not even this year, I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm like, no one is gonna outwork me. I was like, I'm just gonna put in the work. I'm like, cause you know what I mean, hard work beats talent when talent was work hard, and I knew I already had the talent, so I just been like going crazy with it and like always working. Like, for me, an off week is when I'd like record like only like 3 times a week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How do you
But
shows?
sometimes you need those that like you need a break to just like live life and like go live experiences so you can put it back into the art, you know?
Yeah, go do shit. I
Yeah.
find myself working so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I want to go snowboarding.
You got to give it a break sometimes. I'll go with Josh. We can bleep his name. I go or something. I don't know. I go with Josh Hedricks all the time. Every second Wednesday we go.
Snowboarding?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you want to come, man, pull up.
Yeah. Are you good? This sounds ridiculous. Are you? I don't even want to say it like that. What level of snowboarding do you do?
I'm like, okay, so when I started, I went for like 4 years, or like 4 seasons, and I'm starting to get pretty good, like starting to do like little jumps and like you know what I mean, just gaining confidence. And then I honestly stopped literally for like 2 years, and I didn't go for like 1-2 seasons in a row. And now this year I've gone like a couple times, and like now I've started to get my confidence back, and like I've been starting to hit jumps and like go on the boxes and stuff. So I'm like, I'd say intermediate, but like Josh is like, when he was like, yo man, he's like, I did not expect you to be as good as you are. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yo, because there's that one time when you were like ripping down. He's like, and it was like like, you know when you're like chopping, you can't stop on your edge. So it was like that. So I was like chopping, and I like biffed, but it was like all good. And he's like, yeah, he's like, yo, he's like, you go like as fast as me, or like if not as fast. And he's gone like probably like 50 times. So like, I'm all right. I'm not like crazy. I'd say I'm like intermediate. Like I can hit like little jumps. Like I've been starting to catch air and shit now. Like this last time. So like I think this next time I'll be starting to like more and more and more. You know.
You'll get it. It's all about the. I ask because I worry about murdering people. I'm like a.
What?
Double black, like full send, no brakes.
Oh,
I snap my humerus on the larges when I was, when I was a kid. Like, yeah, like I competitive freestyle snowboarded for a bit, so I love
crazy.
So that's why I asked, because like I'd like to. When me and Sarah first met, and she was like really stoked that I was a big snowboarder. Mm-hmm. She'd been snowboarding for a long time, but at Blue Mountain in Ontario, which is more of a hill than a mountain.
I've heard of that place.
Okay, so it's nothing, and. We got out to the mountains for the first time, and she is like in the gondola at Sunshine having a panic attack because it's like
it's so hectic.
Well, it's huge, right? You're like holy.
It's a fucking mountain.
Yeah, we're in the Rocky fucking mountains, and so when I got out of freestyle snowboarding, my buddy Ryan French, who's still working as a ski patrol at Sunshine, he's the guy that throws the bombs to do the avalanche control now.
Oh shit.
We got into mountaineering and like riding backcountry.
Really?
And yeah, because you can't really hurt yourself when you're falling into a whole bunch of
so
snow.
Much powder, yeah.
But you know, it gets pretty dangerous getting there sometimes.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
But Sarah comes up on the mountain, and like I was like, you know, like don't follow me.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there. But inevitably, you always follow somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
And
why? Because you get stuck if you follow their path.
No, like just like where I'm going on the mountain, because like you know, like I had passes at Sunshine a whole bunch of times. Like,
so you get the fresh powder. You like the fresh powder,
the
hey?
freshies. I'm looking for the biggest fucking drop I can find. I want to go as high as I can, as fast as I can. And yeah, she'd end up in some like super sketchy spots. So when she started, she was like intermediate. She was like blue snowboarder.
Yeah.
And like it was real quick that she'd end up on some like serious black, double blacks.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, I can't do it, you know, like on her ass. And I'm like, yo, it's either you go fast and you find your edge and you fucking get all the way to the bottom, or you're gonna fucking really hurt yourself. Like, I can't help you now. You follow me.
I can't help you now. You're on a fucking mountain.
Yeah, this is the reality. And you know what? She became such a great snowboarder in 2 years. It was like intense because she gained the confidence. It was that moment that she understood that, like, I always say it on the, nobody probably understands it when I say it, but I always say full send, no brakes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Full send, no brakes. Maybe, I don't know if that's an Alberta thing. No, that's a thing.
I think it's just like a bra, like, you know, it's like a Canada snowboard guy thing. Full send, but yeah, don't speed check. Fucking just go. No brakes. If you slow down, you're probably gonna hurt yourself way more than if you go super fast.
That's crazy, man.
And so I always warn people of that. I'm like, I don't know if you want to go snowboarding.
Last time I was on the chairlift, we saw like from the distance one of the mountains, and like there was just like one set of like prints that someone like went all the way up like a distant mountain and then came down. I was like, holy fuck! I'm like, man,
yeah, that's the
someone is hit. I'm like, that's the shit like that you would be doing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah, I bet it's like literally your snow, like untouched.
It's amazing, but you would be surprised how many people actually go out into the middle of nowhere to hunt for that stuff. It's pretty cool.
That's wild.
There's actually a whole how can I not remember it now? It's like the Mountaineers Guild of Canada. And you can pay a $20 membership fee. Yeah. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's something close to that. And there's backcountry cabins. Yeah. All over, like in the forests, in mountain areas. Yeah. And you rent them out. They're like you know, this membership is like a union for people who have built backcountry cabins. And so like you can go out to Rogers Pass is incredible. There's a union of backcountry cabinsmen. Yeah. And people are like you know, like it's taken a lot of time to hike this stuff out. Like like literally there's no way else to get it there but to hike it out.
Damn. And like snowmobile.
Or snowmobile, but some of these places aren't like...
You can't even snowmobile there.
No way. Like, they're, you know, people build cabins on the side of mountains. Yeah, and that's true. And it's just incredible what they end up doing through the summer. Nuts. But you can rent these for like $20 to $50. Yeah. And they'll tell you like, this one has pots and pans and firewood. Yeah. You know, please bring in these things to leave there when you come back. Yeah. But it's when you get deep into that, it's fucking incredible and super weird as well.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's like some like Grizzly Adams shit, like living off the land.
Mountain people are dope. If that's what they all want to do, that's what it's all about. Yeah. As much as you can, like, I would do that. I would live off the grid for sure.
That's the only way you could live off the grid is if you're like, you know what I mean? Like that, like mountain man, like, you know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind, like, can't find you type thing.
Sarah will listen to this. She'll be like, there's no way you'd ever be a mountain man. You're such a prissy. I'm such a city boy.
Hey, bougie. You're city slicker. I'm like that too, man. I like my amenities, man. We have these things. Like, we've invented these things. You know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah, I'm Billy Crystal in City Slickers, for sure. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen Billy Crystal.
Dude, you gotta watch City Slickers.
Is it like a classic?
Classic 80s movie. I think they did 3 of them. Billy Crystal, some other funny people.
It smells nice.
It's a black IPA, Dawn's Choice. I don't know who Dawn is, but...
Dawn's Choice.
Ignis and Gun presents Dawn's
The Choices of the Dawns. That's just what's up.
Dawn's beer is an absolute belter, and only God knows how we managed to dream it up, but we love it. Flavors of coconut, tropical hops, and rhubarb combined with chocolate and crystal malts for an unforgettable taste experience.
Sounds like a party. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Oh, it smells really fucking good. Holy. Let's have another cheers.
Delicious, bro. Damn.
Beers with buds. Cheers. To my new bud.
Damn.
Oh, it's kind of weird on the palate, though. I don't know if I'm fucking with it on the mouth.
It's a little unorthodox.
The smell was fantastic. I guess I always describe these smells for people.
Yeah, weird.
So it's like sour. It's like a sour chocolate bar. I don't know. It's like candied orange peels and chocolate, and you know, just like it's kind of simple on the palate. pretty gross. It's oh, you know, on the nose, it's almost like you took a handful of dark chocolate and melted it in your hand, and then you like whipped it into a thing of like tropical dried fruit trail mix.
I could see that. 'Cause it's a little bit stingy.
Yeah, there's a lot of the tropical fruits, some pineapple and the mango, because it's a black IPA.
What was the thing you said before? Oh fuck, I forgot.
Oh, but the taste.
Yo, but you don't want to get on the Don's wrong side, bro. This is his choice.
Dawn has a shit palate. Or they're just like...
don't play the Don.
Dawn's a drunk.
The day of the Don's wedding is when we're going to have to ask for forgiveness. I've actually never seen The Godfather. I've seen so many gangster movies, but...
Super boring.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Well, it's like 13 hours, so fucking...
I think it's only 3.5.
No, all trilogy.
Oh, all of them. Yeah, right. 13 hours.
Yeah, I think I'm exaggerating. I don't know if it's that long.
No, I think you're right. I think it is 13 hours. If you watch all the scenes and everything.
It's insane.
Yeah, The Godfather is pretty boring because you got to read subtitles.
I heard it's legendary.
It's pretty slow.
You don't fuck with Narcos? That's subtitles. No, I ain't not a subtitles guy.
I watched a lot of it, and then I'm like 6 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm fucking done with this. If I want to watch TV, it's because I want to be pretty mindless and just like absorb the content. I don't want to have to put effort into it.
You're Somalia. You're a gentleman. You should be. I thought you watch foreign films and whatnot. Ooh. Foreign film Twitter is coming after you, bro.
This is people's misconception. I love fine wine, but one of the best pairings is like Burgundy, which is like a Chardonnay that's done in French oak from Burgundy, France. Mm-hmm. Like with a fucking spicy Italian sausage with a lot of cheap French's mustard on it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's one of the best pairings in the world. And you know what? I really like the finer things, but I'm also just a homie at heart, right? Like,
I'm also just cheers to just being a homie.
Yeah, cheers to being a homie. That's the reality. It's so funny when people come over and we're having like a sesh or something, and then we open like a $200 bottle, and it's like, it's not because I have to. It's just because I want to.
You're a good host, you enjoy it.
Well, it's funny because people never appreciate like really expensive wine.
Yeah.
Like unless you're like really trained in it, I feel like it's just it's either a flex or an absolute waste of money because it'll just taste like booze to somebody.
Yeah, facts. I'm not really much of like a drinker, but like when it comes to wine, this might be soft, but I like white wine a lot better. And
That's not soft.
I like Rieslings because it's like fruit juice, man.
Dude, I tell people all the time, Riesling is my lifeblood. I love Riesling. Yeah, man.
Riesling's the shit.
Riesling's the shit. It's just hard to find what you like because there's so many misconceptions in wine. Like especially that, you're like, it might be weak that I like white wine. White wine is so much more delicious. We just live in Calgary where everybody seems to drink fucking Cab Sav and these dark red wines, and it has to be like, nail biting and like tannic, like the fuzzy slippers in your mouth. And white wines are delicious and refreshing. Everywhere else in the world loves to drink white wines.
Like a nice chilled white wine. It's so fucking refreshing.
Mosel Riesling. So Riesling from Germany on the Mosel River. Mm-hmm. My absolute favorite.
That's
the Rheingau as well.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Dude, hit me up next time you're shopping for wine. Send me a picture of the Rieslings.
Yeah.
Go to Alsace as well. Yeah. You'd probably really like Alsatian Gewürztraminer.
Yeah.
Or the Riesling they do as well, because Alsace is this spot between France and Germany that's actually gone in between German and French rule multiple times. So the culture is
like right on the border type thing?
Right on the border, and multiple wars and multiple land grabs. Mm-hmm. So they have this intricate blended culture, but they have their own dialect. They speak Alsatian because they morphed. They did not identify as French or German. Wow. So it's a beautiful blend of cultures that created amazing wine styles.
So that's where Riesling came from?
No, Riesling is German.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what they say. It's from German, but like Austrian Riesling.
I've had like
really
French
good.
Riesling, I feel like, once, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, probably not French.
No? Okay, I might be tripping.
Well, Alsace would be like the main Riesling place from France, but there's a lot of great Riesling in Canada. That's one of the big things I talk about. Mm-hmm. because
From like Okanagan.
yeah, well, so what happened was there's this the Weiss family, Nick Weiss, St. Urbanshof, which is a famous place on the Mosel, and they have properties on the Rheingau.
Okay.
They smuggled their cut of Riesling to Canada.
Yeah.
They called it the Weiss. It's the Weiss cut, and Herman Weiss, I think, was the dude who smuggled it.
Yeah.
In his suitcase, and they planted it in Niagara, and it grew really, really well. And now that's the most planted cut of Riesling across Canada. And that one was planted at, the very first one was planted at, oh, this is going to eat me inside, man.
So he brought it from Germany out here.
He smuggled the cuts.
Wow.
Because that's one of the craziest parts about
crazy.
Wine.
Yeah.
People had to smuggle agricultural products in their suitcases, just like weed, except they're bringing.
Why? Like potato salad, like a briefcase full of potatoes. It's like Pulp Fiction, you know what I mean? They like open it, it's like glowing. It's like,
No, straight up. That's how some of the best
wines
cuts of wine got here. Because when I talk about wine and cannabis, people don't understand that there's like thousands of different varietals and cuts of Pinot Gris, Pinot Noir. Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio are almost the same, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
But Pinot Noir, there's like some of the most famous are the 666 clones, 667 and 777.
Yeah.
But there's all the hundreds in between there.
Yeah.
But on the label, it just comes out as Pinot Noir. So if cannabis may be simplified that way in the future, and when it'll be on the consumer to be educated and informed, just like a wine consumer now. Like, unless you know about a wine label and can read a wine label, it's just gibberish.
Yeah, word.
Especially French wine labels, or Italian wine labels, where they just list the village, and it's like, you have to know.
That's true. That's funny you say that. Like, yeah, people are gonna have to know this shit with like just like wine with weed, because like the times that I've bought from like you know what I mean, dispensaries, like Canadian dispensaries, it's just been like the weed has been so weak. It's been like not so like pretty whack, like pretty trash.
Like legal cannabis since legalization.
Yeah, but of course we only buy legal cannabis, Officer Jones.
Oh, I get donated cannabis. My friends share cannabis with me constantly.
Oh, word.
This is it. I don't pay for cannabis, but it's totally legal to share it with people now. So
yeah, facts.
That's exciting. No, legal cannabis has a long way to go.
Yeah.
I've tried a bunch of stuff. I did just review some pretty good stuff recently.
I saw you posted some shit about like a article about legal cannabis that has like a long way to go. What did you say?
Oh yeah, I think I was just trying to silver line stuff and say like, cannabis
those
can.
Jokes. We both
Cannabis,
yeah. At the same time.
Cannabis can only get better was I think one of the things I was talking about. Like just like the reality is it might be pretty trash right now.
Yeah.
Or like the multitude of it might be pretty trash. But let's look at when you go and buy beer, excluding the craft beer revolution of the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You went into a beer store and most of it was just generic crap.
Yeah.
That didn't taste very good
big names.
and got you drunk.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking for anything past an ale or a lager, and it didn't matter if it was really sweet or it had unbalanced alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where cannabis is today.
Yeah.
I just think cannabis grows so rapidly.
That's a cool parallel.
If we consider that it took 60 years in Canada after the end of Prohibition to get a craft brewery license, 1923 to 1986, then it's, we're way ahead on cannabis if micro cultivators can come in.
Yeah,
if we see them enter the market next year, 2 years, 3 years from now, yes, you'll see the price jump. People are like, oh, cannabis is too expensive.
Yeah.
They've never bought cannabis in California, obviously.
Yeah, like it's like they charge like expensive out there. I heard in New York like a gram of like gas is like $30-$40.
Exactly. But if you want to buy moonshine today, it's cheaper than going to the liquor store. And if people don't understand that, it's just like buying illegal cigarettes, the bagged cigarettes from the Indian or the First Nations Reserve.
I'll edit that out.
No, I don't care.
I'm just joking.
You know what? It's the Indian Minister of Affairs office still. Like I can't completely get it out of my vocabulary, but soon it'll be a very different thing because as our country becomes more and more multicultural, that word has a completely definition. And people, First Nations, nobody even. I would say it's like 1 in 5 people might think about that as a First Nations person versus an actual Indian person today.
Facts.
Don't remember where I was going with this at all.
My bad.
It's okay.
Like, I don't know.
I'm good at being distracted.
It's my bad. Phone call. You know how it goes.
The best is when I listen back and then I realize where I tailed off, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I could have had a story.
You fuck with Grateful Dead?
The Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
I've noticed their artwork and stuff has gotten really popular in, like, across like pop culture over the past little while.
Resurgence of LSD.
Yeah. Hey, what do you mean resurgence of LSD? People are doing LSD again?
Yeah.
I guess.
Psychedelics are becoming mainstream.
That's true.
Counterculture again.
Word. That's true.
Like, yeah, people don't want to...
Honestly, not that I've done every drug, but out of the drugs that I have done, I think LSD besides weed is the illest drug.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It changed my life. I went from being like an asshole gangster. I took 8 stamps. Got lost in the forest, watched a pole grow out of the ground, and it grew through the sky. I was like sitting there crying, earthquakes going on, and like I was literally thought I was gonna die, and this pole's growing through the clouds, and it's growing and growing, and I'm looking at it, and I realized that there are direction signs on it.
Yeah.
But as they're going by, I'm able to read that it's like all the decisions I've ever made, the things I've said. Yeah, and it was like my conscious visualization of the butterfly effect, and everything I was doing was perpetually fucking up my life, and like I sat there for what felt like an eternity, like crying and watching this, and it kept going and going.
Yeah.
And then as I like came back out of the forest, I saw some people I was with, and these dudes like melted away, like I just thought they were like the biggest losers all of a sudden, and they like melted, and I was like, yeah. And I started thinking way differently. Like after that, like that was a wild trip, lasted lots more hours.
Yeah.
But that moment really resonates with me in life because it made me think about my actions way more. Made me realize that I was fucking up.
Yeah, it's a true self-realization drug.
Oh yeah, ego death, self-awareness.
I always tell people that's like you've experienced that. It's fucking the most I've ever done though was 1 1/4. But I was thinking,
oh, you gotta go deeper, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At least 2. First time I did it was 2, and I was like 15, 16, and I was just gone, and it was incredible.
As actors.
It was awesome.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Might have to take it up a notch.
I can't do mushrooms. Mushrooms make me sick.
Yeah, the gut rot and shit. Yeah,
I puke.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah, exactly. My biggest fear is to like shit or puke while I'm high on psychedelics. Mm-hmm. It's just just terrifies me to have to poop while I'm high on psychedelic drugs.
You gotta go deeper, hey.
Oh, dude, like, and mushrooms always just like, it's like I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna shit my pants, and then I tell people this sometimes, and they're like, yeah, my homie always shits his pants when he does mushrooms. It's like, what? Why are you friends with this guy? Why does he eat mushrooms?
Yeah, that's just a part of the thing, man. You eat the shrooms, you trip out, you shit your pants.
Yeah, it's just what's expected. One time I was watching Prisoner of Azkaban. I ate like a gram of mushrooms, and I was just sitting there, and it got so trippy.
Yeah.
The color grading in that movie actually isn't very good.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching it, and this is one of the things as I've always really liked cinema and film and that kind of stuff, but I'm colorblind, so this is another thing. So I'm watching the color, and psychedelics, when I do them, I can see full range of color. This is the craziest thing. I see way more colors, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm watching Prisoner of Azkaban, and like the color grading's like so shitty, and I'm like just focusing on the corners of the screen, and then I was like, I'm gonna be so sick. And I got, and then I like held it, and I walked away, and it was like I like vomited like a slug. It felt like just crackers and mushrooms. I was like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
It was like the Eminem video. And
yeah, exactly. My life felt so much better after that moment. It was like I projectile vomited anxiety out of my body.
Yeah.
And I felt great. Like the after effect of it.
Yeah. That's where I heard you get higher after you puke.
I don't know if that's real.
Where it might just be like, urban legend, youngins.
One time I puked on mushrooms at this house party when I was in high school. And
you You're geeked up youngin', hey?
Yeah. You gotta have some I feel
for
like
sure.
everybody has like crazy high school experiences.
Yeah.
And if you don't get to like have those in your adolescence, then you might end up having them later in life when it might not be as appropriate.
True
But it's
enough.
probably not good for my developing mind. Like doing drugs as an adult is a much different experience than doing drugs as a kid.
Youngster, yeah, totally.
But I puked at this party, and I remember like I did get way higher. It was
Yeah.
like eyeballs were rolling around. It was like this was like the most intensely psychedelic moment on mushrooms I've ever had.
Wow.
And I was fucked. I was terrified of that moment for years after. But I was like straight up. I went to my buddies and I was like, I'm gonna call my mom. And he's like, you are not calling your mom to my house right now. He's having a huge party. Everybody's just whacked. And I'm like, yeah, man.
Everyone was tripping.
I think there's a lot of drunk people, but I think like half the party had probably eaten mushrooms. Like, you know, it was a lit party. They had like a 4-foot bong, and I think this was probably what made me puke because I was hitting that 4-foot bong like nothing.
Yeah, when you're on shrooms or as like you can fucking just like chief like you could take like 7 bong hoots and like it's nothing.
Yeah, so we ended up. So I called my mom and I was like, "No, you got to pick me up at CPU," and she's like, "Why?" And I was
Is this
like,
Queensland?
No, in Sundance.
Okay, yeah.
And so we walk over, and these 2 dudes are like, "Okay, we're gonna go get pizza," and I was like, "Thank God," because I probably wouldn't have made it there by myself. So they're like drunk for sure, and they're running ahead of me, and like I'm so high, and I'm watching this guy driving his car, and I see these dudes in the road, and I'm like, yo, this car's gonna hit you. Yo, this car's gonna hit you. Yo, this car's gonna hit you. And then the car's straight come for it, and I just grab this dude and like, vroom, and like, vroom, and it was like, oh, he was like, yo, you just saved my life. And I'm like, yo, I saw it coming. I had a premonition.
Yo, like some fucking not Sandra, but like fucking Final Destination shit.
Dude, that's happened a few times on psychedelics where I'm like watching cars and I'm like, this is gonna happen. This guy's gonna crash.
You might have just been tripping though. I see that all the time, like near misses. I see a lot of near misses.
When we lived on 14th Street,
Yeah.
was that 14th Street and 180th Ave? Is that where we
Where
were?
the fuck is that?
Like Palliser,
Idiot.
Glenmore Landing. I don't know
That's
if
not. It can't be 180th, bro.
I don't even know my 90th Ave. I don't even remember my old address anymore.
Okay, right.
We used to watch so much crazy shit happen there. It was this huge. We lived in like a aquarium like apartment.
Aquarium.
That's a terrible way to explain it. The whole thing was like
That's
a big glass. Everybody's calling us today.
Yeah, fuck, we're busy guys.
I'm giving the message. Sorry, I can't talk right now.
Yeah. Oh, you hit him with the auto reply.
Hit him with the auto reply. It was my mom too.
Oh, I should have hit him with the auto reply. I just ignored it.
So we were in this big. It was like floor to ceiling glass windows, 10-foot ceilings. The whole thing was just glass, so we could watch out everywhere, and you could see Heritage Park. Yeah, it must have been 90th Ave.
Yeah.
And you could look at Glenmore Landing and see Heritage Park through the windows. It was really beautiful.
that's
Like,
sick.
I loved hearing the train whistle. I'd sit in my office. I hear the train whistle. Doo, doo.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty busy street,
Yeah.
and you could watch so much shit happen. It was crazy. And because we were on the side of the reservoir,
Yeah.
there's so much wildlife and stuff as well.
That's cool.
Oh
The
yeah,
best of both worlds.
that was
Fucked up shit and like beautiful stuff.
so much mega beautiful stuff. We did acid one night,
Yeah.
and went and sat on Glenmore, like on the edge of Glenmore Landing. Well, not the edge. We went and sat on a bench at Glenmore Landing, and we watched the sunset over
Yeah.
this vista. But we painted it. We both had the same palette of paint, and
You had paint. Dude, you hear them? Dude, that's amazing.
we painted the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's incredible because we shared a palette. Our paintings are the same, but so different.
Yeah.
Sarah gets in there. She's probably gonna hate me for telling this story now, but she's like going in, and I was like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Just painting, like she's been a professional painter her whole life."
Damn.
And like I'm like, kindergartening it up here, like. I like to say it's Picasso-esque, but it's like
Yeah,
kindergarten-esque.
just like dinky.
And this family walks by.
Yeah.
And this family is like, oh, they're Eastern Europeans. What are you painting? And we're like, oh, we're painting the sunset. And we're whacked.
Yeah.
And the lady's like, hers looks like professional. Yours? So they go by. So they walk away, and we finish painting. And Sarah, literally like 2 minutes in, she's done.
Wow.
And I'll show you the paintings. They're downstairs.
Yeah.
And hers is like, there's like fucking negative space in it for like the casting of the light. It's like It's like she's been painting her whole life. I'm still astounded by the amount of technique that she put into it.
Yeah.
Having never painted before. Or
Crazy.
I took art every year of school. She's never taken an art class.
She just like had it, like, dude, that's cool.
So these people come back and I'm like still painting mine. Sarah's been done drawing hers for like a few minutes at this point.
Yeah.
And this lady again is like, let me see the paintings. And Sarah shows hers and she's like, this is beautiful. Do you have these for sale?
Wow.
And she's like, no, this is like my first time doing it. She's like, what? This is your first time doing it? She's like, you should be a professional. And she's like, yours still not very good. And they just walk away. And I was like, oh!
Drop the mic. You guys probably died laughing, hey?
Oh, it was hilarious. It's still super funny.
Yeah, fuck, that was fucking
But that was a really cool moment. Super incredible. It was like,
amazing.
Yeah, if I've ever seen somebody be biohacked before, that moment was like,
you should see if you should try, like, not necessarily on LSD, but like just try painting again.
You know what's funny? I actually did buy a whole bunch of canvases and
no,
still haven't been painted.
She's not down.
Maybe we'll try again.
Give it a go. Take it to paint night.
Yeah, man. I wanted to do puffin paints.
What's that? Oh, fucking paint night, but that's fire.
I wanted to organize that. I thought it'd be cool.
That's a good idea.
That's probably how I could get a female demographic that will want to book me for parties to come to something.
That's a good idea. A puffin paint.
Yeah, I'm gonna set that up.
Fuck, there it is. Beautiful. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. We're doing a puffin paint. We also have cannabis industry networking every Friday at OT Brewing Company in Calgary, Alberta.
Chill.
If you're trying to get into the industry or you want to be in the industry, come hang out. If you just want to have some beers with some homies, come on out. Meet some new people.
OTB, what does that stand for?
OT Brewing.
Oh, OT Brewing.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Where are they? What area is that?
It's kind of above Ogden. It's like on 42nd Ave, right by Cash Casino.
Okay. I know what that is.
Yeah, good brews. Homie's the brewer. Yeah, shout out to them. Thanks for letting me host my stuff there.
Shout out OTB.
Yeah, shout out OTB.
And OEB.
So tell me more about music. Tell me more about the hustle. Like, where are you at? What are the lessons you're learning? What's, like, the grind for this year? Because you said you had 150 tracks unreleased.
Yeah, I have a lot of music, man. My friends are starting to, like, go in on me and be, like, jokingly being like, yo, like, now you're just lacking at this point, not putting this stuff out. Because, like, it's like, you know, I'm not delusional. Like, we know, like, I have a deep love for music. So it's like, we know what's good and what's not. And, like, I have a lot of really good stuff that I just want it to be delivered well, because I feel like everything is it's more so how you package it and what you show people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking, I have been shooting like little 30-second teaser, like crazy, like high quality clips for every song that I'm going to start dropping, because I'm going to start dropping them consistently. But yeah, there's just a lot of variables, like with like the guys shooting it and like the people editing it and, you know, waiting and whatnot. But I just know what I have, so it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't want to waste my bullets.
Word.
Like
well,
that,
I think we said this when I was in the garage. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I fucking don't agree at all. You should put everything out right now, and you should be shooting these 30-second clips on your iPhone and like just going full send. 150 days of music, a track a day, or at this point, you could do one every 2 days and have a track every second day for the entire year, and then release new music next year, a whole album, like a 12-track complete heaters, or the best ones, you just keep them. Dude, have you seen this dude, Mark Rebier?
Mark Rebier, no.
Oh, they call him fucking Loop Daddy.
Loop Daddy.
Papa Loops.
Yeah.
And this guy is like pretty eccentric. He's a good singer and he's a great musician.
Yeah.
But he has like a Roland loop station, a keyboard, Logic, and a whole bunch of like percussion instruments.
Yeah.
And he just goes.
Yeah.
And he just records it. And whatever comes out is what he makes. And it's like everything's freestyle. But he makes content out of all of it.
Really?
And so it was just like, you know, like that theme, like jumping on the thing. He was one step away, and then people just kept watching. And now he's been touring the world. And what he started doing, he's like, well, while I tour the world, I'm going to do a song a day on Instagram, exclusively for Instagram, in every hotel room I'm in.
Damn.
And so he's pumping out a track a day there. He literally is doing live tracks every night on stage, and then he's re-aggregating these live tracks that he's doing into more YouTube content because he can split them up.
Yeah, word.
And it's like, so he's in Calgary on the 24th, and I'm stoked. I'm keep asking him on Instagram to come be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Cause that'd be sweet.
That'd be fucking fire.
Right.
You know his shit too. Like, you know it's good.
Yeah, man. I was like, if you don't want to come on the podcast, like come over and jam.
Yeah, your setup downstairs is wild.
Thanks.
And have you talked about it on the show before?
Not really.
Yo, for y'all that don't know, man, he's got a crazy setup with like a full drum kit, keyboard, turntables, a beautiful guitar. I was like, holy shit, man. He's a musical fellow here.
Yeah, I play it all too.
That's what's up. Multifaceted.
I want to learn saxophone.
Oh man, that's the sexiest instrument.
Right.
That's what the true lovers play. You know what I mean?
When I proposed to Sarah, I had a saxophone player hide on the the dock that I proposed.
The veranda? Was it a veranda?
No, it was like a gazebo on the end of a gazebo on the end of a dock on the Caribbean Sea.
That's just as good. Yeah, that's better actually than.
Yeah. So what I did. This is good. I don't think I've ever told the proposal story on here. She was like, before we went on vacation, she was like, I've always wanted to kind of do a photo shoot. And I was like, so have I. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to propose and get it on film. Yeah. So I booked a photo shoot in secret. And I was like, how do I make it super special? So I hired a sax player, and I was like, I want you to hide at the end of this.
So how did you find a sax player in the Caribbean?
I had to use the wedding planner at the resort. Yeah, I colluded with her for months to figure this out. Colluded. And so
collusion.
Straight up collusion. She was like, send me a picture of you and your fiance so that when you show up, I can come pick you out of line and come check you in private. It was like full collusion. She came out of nowhere like, oh, Mr. Freedman. So the day comes, and like the sax player's at the end of the dock, and they have the dock all blocked off, and we're having lunch. And I'm like, okay, so we have a photo shoot, at the, man, I'm forgetting the word for it. There's a specific word. Anyways,
what's the thing?
On the dock. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we get out there, and the photographer meets us there. We're like standing around, and I'm like, oh, we're supposed to go out onto the dock. The guards have it closed off, and they're like, no, you're not. It's reserved for somebody. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's reserved for me. and they're like, and I see this dude at the end. So I told them to get the saxophone player to hide and look like just a tourist. Anybody
just like move like not you know what I mean, like his torso blocking it.
Yeah, he was just so casual. He had it all covered. He had his because I wanted to play a cover of Latch because that's our song. He had like a boom box, and he had that covered in a towel because it's like super casual. Yeah. And so the photographer comes over. He's like, oh, hello, and I had the ring in my hand.
And you told them though, but you told her that you had it blocked off, like those.
Yeah, but the guy was like, "No, it's not for you." And then the photographer came, and the guy's like, "Oh, it is for you." He's like, "Good luck," because he knows everybody at the resort knows exactly what's going on at this point.
That's so sick.
And so the photographer goes to shake my hand, and I have my hand on the ring because it's in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I've had it in there for hours at this point because I didn't know how to get it in there for the whole setup.
Totally.
And so he goes to shake my hand, and I'm like, shit, I can't take my hand off this ring. So I shake his hand with my left hand, and it's super awkward. And Sarah's like, what? So we walk out to the end of the
that pier. Is weird. That's so weird.
This is what it's called, the pier.
Pier, yeah.
Damn, that took me a while.
I thought it was like a Spanish word or something.
So we walk out to the end of this pier, and dude's hiding, and he's like, okay, I'm just going to take some test shots. And I knew it was like the test shots were the money, right? He takes the test shots, and basically on the second one, I'm going to get down on one knee. The sax player is going to turn around and start ripping our song.
Oh, man.
And it fucking worked perfect. Dude, it was so good. I got to show you the picture.
Amazing. That's amazing, bro. Holy shit.
I got to show you the picture. Yeah, thank God she said yes, or it would have been really awkward.
Ooh, the sax player just like throws the sax into the ocean.
He pitches it. No, it was great. It was such a beautiful moment. And like the sax player's ripping our song, and yeah, it was perfect. It was really beautiful.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah, thank God it all worked out. I was so worried about dropping the ring through the dock, like just terrified.
Yeah, worst case scenario always, right? But no, that's cool, man. That's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thanks. Get married in Jamaica this year.
Oh hell yeah!
Speaking of Jamaica, I loaded up our Puffco Peaks.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'm just gonna double tap yours while I'm
gonna get a little snap of that.
Ooh, I'm double fisting now. We're in it. We're live on Snapchat, on the podcast. This is almost like Inception content. Double Puffco Peaks. Bam.
I'll post that later. You know.
Here, that
Don't
one's
wanna
for you.
Disrespect the listeners.
And then when it goes, you'll just leave that on while it heats up. I loaded it. Perfect.
Yeah,
I know.
felt it.
Cheers.
Holy fuck, you go in, eh? That's wild. I'm already coughing from that. Damn.
Zombie Kush.
Zombie Kush. Who's the place that made
Double
these-
tap.
Okay. We back.
These are the Puffco Peaks. They're just nice because they don't have to use a torch or anything, and
Yeah,
silent.
this is so chill. It looks cool as fuck too.
People say it looks like an alien dildo.
Yeah, I can see that. That's like that, you know, that Young Thug tweet where it's like, no homo, we smoking no penises. No homo, we smoking no penises. You think the blunts are so big, they look like dicks.
Big. I call them gorilla fingers instead of gorilla dicks.
Gorilla fingers is chill. One time for 420, fucking we rolled like one of those like giant raw cones, like the ones that you put like a half O in.
Oh yeah.
So like I took a picture with that. I was like, no homo, we smoking no whale chodes.
See, I like whale chodes more than smoking penises.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. I don't know if I could ever out loud say like I'm smoking we're smoking dicks.
Smoking big dicks in the bins.
You know what one of my biggest pet peeves is though? Is when people say they're smoking a doink and they're not smoking a blunt.
Yeah, word.
I'm like, you're not smoking a doink.
Yeah, it's just a J. But I guess I just mean doinks and a big ass J.
But R.I.P. Fat Dave, he would have had none of that.
Who's Fat Dave?
He's the guy that started doinks, the word doinks.
Oh yeah, the chubby guy. Yeah.
We smoking big doinks.
Yeah. I got loud. Who want to link up?
I think he died of diabetes.
Say word.
Word.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Fat Dave. Or King Dave, not Fat
King
Dave.
Dave, yeah. He's becoming like a like you know, mad like a legend in the internet, like a popping dude.
Okay, well I'm done with my dab. But then the one thing you gotta do.
How do you know when it's done?
When you want to stop puffing it.
Yeah, I'm fooked.
I'm a flavor. I'm there for the flavor. I'm not really in it for much more.
Word.
Here, let me see that one.
Let me clear it.
Thank you. Got to clean it up because that's the hard part about the oil.
Yeah.
Is you waste a lot of it, right? Like there's that much in there.
I can still bang it out. Can you turn it back on in a bit? Or is it not good to do that?
It'll just taste bad. I'm not
Yeah,
too worried
word,
about it.
fuck
I'd
it.
rather you have the fire.
Respect.
It's the cannabis sommelier. We're about the flavors. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm never really that worried about getting people intoxicated.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, that beer doesn't taste that good, but with this, it actually kind of like
It tastes better?
aftertaste.
Does it make it sweeter in your mouth?
Yeah, the aftertaste of the beer tastes a bit better
I'll try
after
it.
the dab to see what's good. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think it brings out that coconut flavor, takes down the weird acidic rhubarbiness.
Mm-hmm.
Does make it better. You want to smell this? Smell them side by side. If they work on the palate, then they'll definitely work on the nose. So smell the beer first. Know the beer, and then hold them side by side, and just like go in and like.
All right. Let me get my breath up. Do the Wim Hof.
Oh.
Oh, that is a cool little mixture there.
And then it starts changing, right? It's
Yeah.
it's interesting because you can only.
That's cool, man. That was like literally like fusion. Like that's cool.
Yeah, we smell stuff, right?
Yeah.
And those smells are just terpenes oxidizing into the air. That's like when you spin a glass of wine, that's what you're doing. That's why it smells more, because you're oxidizing the
Yeah.
terps. Yeah, it's just you're just blending smells in your nose. You ever go to Sage in the mall?
Yeah.
They have a million mixtures of essential oils. Basically the same idea.
Yeah.
Just
I found those sort of stores, they all smell like, you can't really smell that as well because like there's so many smells in the air. You know what I mean?
yeah.
A lot of shit like conflicting.
I don't know how anybody could work there. That must be like, honestly, when people talk about workplace hazards,
Yeah.
that's a pretty hazardous place. Like
How come?
terpenes are corrosive. People use them as solvents. Like limonene is an industrial solvent.
Shit.
You know, that stuff.
Is that what that sage stuff is made out of?
Yeah, just terpenes. It's
Oh,
just
damn.
essential oils.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
So what the hell? But I like put that shit in the steam room. You know what I mean? I'll put a couple drops of essential oils like in the steam head.
because in low concentrations it's good for you, but at a point where it becomes,
it's like all surrounding you all day. Yeah.
well, it's all that you breathe.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain allowed amount of everything that can be in the air: mold, butane, whatever, in any workplace environment.
Mm-hmm.
I would just love to see what an air sample looks like in one of those stores.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Stoner thoughts.
No, that's true shit though. Cause for a second you scared me. I was like, oh fuck. But I'm like, no. Like using that eucalyptus and like.
No, it's good for you. Yeah, a little bit's definitely good for you.
I can feel it. Like it's all the gas I smoke and the blunts and stuff. It's nice. It helps. Like you know what I mean. Fight back, clear it up a bit, and just good for your mind. I find.
It's interesting when people talk about cannabis. I never like to talk about the effects of cannabis because I feel like I have no right to.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to suggest things, it's interesting to see what essential oils work in natural medicines for anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, all of those things.
Yeah.
And have been proven in natural medicines. If you can relate that to cannabis, the smells in cannabis, you'll have a much better understanding of the effect of the cannabis than bunching it into a group of indica, sativa, or hybrid.
Yeah.
That's the way. If you want like a good understanding, that's the way.
Like how the essential oils are.
Understand aromatherapy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn, man. These are fucking. Yeah, that's a really good point. I've never heard that before.
No, people don't. I talked about it on somebody else's podcast, but I was like, people are not making the connection between smells in all of these other things. Like, there's nothing new about the smells in there. It's all a group of, like, there's 160 cannabinoids in cannabis.
Yeah.
But they've identified like 360 terpenes.
Yeah.
But these terpenes could only be identified if they were identified in other natural things already, right? Does that make sense?
True, exactly. It already exists. It's not like a new thing.
Humulene is a prominent terpene, and it's like kind of spicy sour.
Mm-hmm.
It's found.
That's like that gas smell.
Sour diesel, white widow are two good examples of it. But that humulene comes from the word Humulus lupulus, which is the scientific name of hops, because hops and cannabis are genetic cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So that like humulene is named from that. But they found it in cannabis, but they realized that it was the same terp.
Damn, man. You fucking scientist.
Not really. I'm just a guy that talks about cannabis. I might even be botching the facts.
Yeah. For all I know, those could all be lies.
Yeah. In my opinion. No, that's the one thing I tell people all the time. Like, I do the reviews. I do all these things.
Yeah.
Don't fucking listen to me. Like, objectively listen to me.
Yeah.
Please.
Not the be all end all.
Everything you do, objectively consume that content. Like, it can be a data point, but you shouldn't only ever have one data point.
Yeah.
Because that's a scary idea.
Facts. I find that's like what a lot of people do now. They go off just one shit and like with this like cancel culture and like, you know what I mean? Like just how like things are. And like I feel people do that a lot and like outside of just in life, you know what I mean? Just like maybe just now, just because people have just short attention spans and like don't give like, you know what I mean? Just want to be outraged. Like when it's a story breaks or some shit, it's like, and then like they find out later that that's not actually how it was. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's interesting. I just saw. Do you remember that like 16-year-old white kid who like with the "Make America Great Again" hat that faced off with the Native American protester?
Yeah.
That kid's parents are trying to sue the Washington Post for $250 million of damages, saying that kid just got in the way at a bad time and they're trying to vilify him.
What?
And I was like, oh.
I don't know about that. Didn't look like it was just there at a bad time.
I know, his smirk was a little too too shit-eating.
Yeah, too shit-eating, yeah.
Right? You know, it doesn't look like he got in the middle to break up that fight.
Not at all.
But, you know, again, like I get why the media went after him. It's interesting now because everybody's like, well, there is a bias towards Donald Trump. Well, yeah, because the guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know, the media wants to report bad stuff about him because it's great. It's good content.
Facts. You know, there's been reports and shit, fucking, like, we could pull it up, I forgot what website, and, like, there's a couple websites, where they show that, like, a lot of Russian hackers, it's, like, it's a fact that, like, people actually, the government actually pays, like, people in Russia full-time to, like, they're, like, social media experts, where they, like, create these sort of this sort of content to devise
fake
stuff,
news.
Exactly, shit in America to, like, turn people, you know what I mean, separate with, like, extremists on one side and extremists to one side. It's fucking, and they say, and that apparently that was one of the videos, like, when they traced it back to where it came from, it was that, like, it was, like, one of them, but
no surprise, man.
fucking hectic.
To think that propaganda is a new thing,
Mm-hmm.
or that nobody's playing in that. Like, it didn't.
People don't even think that, though.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I know, and it's stupid. It honestly pisses me off to think that propaganda died with Joseph Goebbels, who's the propaganda
but he
minister.
created it, yeah. The Third Reich.
Yeah, he was just really fucking good at it. He definitely didn't invent it. He's
Yeah.
just really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and I talk about this often. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I don't even care. The internet is for sale.
Yeah.
And the internet is now a basic necessity of life.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is almost free for everybody. No matter what you do, like, you can get free internet. So
Yeah.
the access to information is literally free. Yet, there's unlimited free speech that's for sale. That's a scary idea.
Yeah. Fuck. It's fucking deep. That was a crazy way to put it. Fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say after that, man. That was a fucking bomb.
Sorry. Yeah. No, it's crazy when you see one of the things that interested me about cannabis legalization was when one of my wine buddies was like, "Look how many people in the liberal government are on our executives or board of directors for cannabis companies."
Yeah.
The list kept going and going. I was like jaw dropped.
That's wild. Yeah, and, like, that relates back to what we were saying earlier about people just going off one source. You know what I mean? They see, like, a bit, like, one thing, and they think it's just another, or they think that's it. Like, that's just how it's packaged to people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, but I loved your analogy of the internet earlier, like jumping on the trampoline. Can you say that? Can you tell me that one again?
Oh, because you were talking about how your content, like some of the videos, like how, like, you'll get like a regular
no
amount
traction.
of views. Yeah, and then, like, one will just randomly pop off and get, like, fucking mad views, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
20K, 30K, and fucking, and then it's gonna keep getting more and more and higher and higher. So. And I related that to, I think it was Adam22 that was talking about it, where, or someone like that. It was like some sort of like, some sort of personality like that. But they're talking about how when you're creating stuff on the internet, it's like jumping on a trampoline, and it's like you do one jump and you do two jumps, and then, like, the neighbors hear you and they come outside and they see you jumping and they're like, wow, cool. And then, like, some other kids from up the block, they hear you, they come out of their backyard, and, like, a couple more kids from the backyard come out, and there's, like, you know, all of a sudden there's 10 kids watching you jumping up and down. You're like, and then, like, you know, it keeps happening slowly. Like, you jump a couple times and no more kids come, but then you jump again, like, another 5 come. Then out of nowhere, like, a bus drives by full of kids and they see you jump and they're like, holy shit, and they all come out and now they're all watching you.
Yeah, then you
like,
learn to flip while those kids are there.
Exactly. Then you do a flip for the kids, and then, like, you know, there's like 100 people and, like, they're telling their friends, and, like, you're doing crazy shit on the trampoline, you know what I mean? And, like, that's just how it fucking grows.
That's how it blows up. Was there a moment where, like,
keep flipping?
You said that keep flipping, exactly.
Keep flipping.
So, like, yeah, that's for you, man. Oh, I'll get it. Oh, you got it. So with the music, like, that was the moment you got paid. I remember you told that story, but, like, was there, like, a moment that is like, fuck yeah, like, I build the connects, like, this is gonna work. This is the moment.
I felt that the most this year in the summer, because I was working, like, when I was in Holland, I was working with, like, you know what I mean, like, serious musicians and, like, crazy producers who, like, one of them, he ghost produces, like, well, I shouldn't really say who, because he's ghost producing, but he ghost produces, like, for, like, some, like, really big EDM artists and, like, just in general, and works with some big people. And we were working with them, and, like, they just saw the talent, and it's like, and, like, because me and my homie Stevie Ross, who he's got, like, some songs with Mercury's that have, like, 10 million views and stuff, and, like, they kill it, and he's like a soul singer, whereas with my stuff, it's like it's different as well. And then when we link up, we make stuff that's different from both our shit. So it's really cool. But so we were just like creating, and they just saw how quick we did it and like the quality of it, and they were like, holy fuck. And like they're still working on some shit out there. I don't know how it's going, but
Hopefully good.
yeah, definitely. We were waiting, but who knows? That's how it goes. But fucking yeah. So then like, and then when we went to Poland and just like shut it down in front of like 800 people, and like they're like singing along to Hot Boy, like yelling, like turning the fuck up. Like I was about to stage dive there, but I was like, oh fuck it. I was like, no, I don't know. But it was like,
You don't trust them?
yeah, I stage dived for the first time at my own show that I did like here in December, where I headlined it, and it was like my people, like my crowd. So I felt more safe too, because it was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean?
It's fucking sketchy, man.
Y'all won't let me fall. I made sure I made eye contact with like one or two guys, and then they're like, yeah, and I was like, okay, let's get it then.
I've watched a few people hit the floor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it without like, you know, because like I did it, and then my boys were like, yeah, come, and I was like, okay, let's go.
Okay, so is this when you hit that Euro tour?
Yeah. So sorry,
2018, right? 2018 summer.
Yeah. So like in Poland, like sometimes it's like you need to go somewhere else to see how real the love is, and like to remind you who you are. Because like if you're always in your own like environment, that's cool, and like the love is there, but it's like people are almost afraid to show the love.
Who's fucking hyping up Hot Boy over there?
Dude, they all were like we just like tore it up, like we just like killed it, and we got a lot of love from there. And like we chilled with this YouTuber from there who's like, he's like the top YouTuber in Poland, and like he does numbers for like music YouTuber, and like he just like knows all these guys, and he does shows. And like we did one where like on the YouTube video where we reacted to like the Polish rappers and like to their videos, and like, you know, and it was like funny and stuff. And like then they had one of them reacting to ours, and did like a live stream and shit. And like we legit made fans. Like they still fuck with me and like comment on my shit and like tag me in them like playing my stuff in Poland. Like I'm definitely gonna be making I got another song actually with a couple artists from there. Shout out Timek and my boy Michael for helping set up, and they're gonna get another dude on there, and that's gonna be like a jam, because I did the chorus on it, and like it's like a slam dunk chorus, and like the guy goes in, like I'll show it to you, like I don't know what he's saying, but that shit is hard. Like the flows are so fucking fire.
Do you know any Polish?
Jesteś piękna. That means you're so beautiful.
Oh, nice.
That's all you gotta know. But yeah, like I said, sometimes you just gotta go to other places to like see how real the love is. You know what I mean? Because like in your home, where your home is, people are afraid to show love because whatever affiliations they might have. And it's like in general, like people don't really respect it as much here unless you go like unless you do something somewhere else. It's like I saw this quote. It's like people won't support you unless like they see strangers, you know what I mean, supporting you, and that's it. So it's like. After that I went to Toronto for a week and worked with like Hudson Alexander, who's this really crazy producer, and like a couple other people, and like just like, you know, things just met some people, and I could just tell, like I could just feel that, like, damn, are you in trouble or something?
No, I know people call twice. I'm just gonna get them with the sorry I can't talk right now. I know, I gotta turn it off. I don't know how to make my computer not talk to me.
Oh, that's hectic.
Ernie, yeah, I'm playing a DJ set.
I was saying, and
it's the guy.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Hopefully he's not. Yeah, hopefully it's all good. I don't like it when people call. People.
Why not, bro? Calling gets shit done so much faster.
I know. I call people all the time, but like, I don't know. Homie usually emails.
That's true. Maybe just wanted to touch base.
I know. Now I'm like, damn. I'm gonna start putting my phone on airplane mode when I do these podcasts.
Yeah, facts. It's a good idea. But no, yeah, that's last summer going to Toronto and stuff, and just like.
So you found real fans. Like there's fans.
Exactly. And like people in Toronto, we did a show as well. Like they really fucked with it as well. And just like artists that like I've kind of known for a little while, they're starting to like bubble and like do their own shit. Like I'm starting to do my shit. And, like we're like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I can just feel the stars aligning. And now I'm gonna be spending more time in Toronto, and like. Not without saying too much, but like, you know, there's some like really cool opportunities starting to like present themselves, and like I can just feel the momentum getting rolling. If y'all haven't heard my shit, it's Harm Franklin on Spotify or, you know, Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, all that stuff. I make my own stuff as well as songwrite for other artists.
When are you trying to go to Toronto? I think you should release a song a day until you go.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go for a week in March, and then I'm gonna come back and probably I'm gonna spend a longer amount of time out there than like full time be there, because I feel like I've like hit the ceiling that there is to do here. I've done everything I've done here.
Calgary's hard. This is a hard market. This is actually, I'm glad you brought this up, because this is one of the hardest markets to like start a different culture in. Like,
because there isn't like a full. It's still developing here.
Nobody's here to fuck with hip hop.
Yeah.
Nobody's
EDM,
here to fuck with cannabis.
country.
Well, it's interesting. Is it EDM? Like, there's enough. There's enough, but there's not like a ton. A show here isn't like a show in Vancouver or Toronto or Edmonton even. Like, the culture in Edmonton.
It's pretty poppin' here, don't you think? It's like pretty full at most of the shows for EDM stuff.
Most of the time, yeah, I guess.
Really?
I guess. I haven't been, admittedly, I haven't been to one since I left the industry.
Word.
Like, I used to go to them once a week.
Yeah, you just
when I worked for Blueprint.
You were like, peace.
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with that anymore. I wanted to dedicate my time and my talent to something that I thought would be a real business in my future.
Yeah,
and that ended up being wine and cannabis.
Word. That's sick.
Wine was just an avenue, and everything that I do now, I learned from fucking up in music.
Really?
Yeah, I learned that, like, I got, we were talking about how many unreleased tracks we have. I got like 60 unreleased tracks. I should just fucking put them out. I should still fucking put them out, because it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to at this point, because I don't think that's very good music. But at that point, it would have been totally worth it to just pump it out. So that's why I always just pump out my videos. I'm not holding anything back. Like, if I film it, it's going out. One of the things I wish I did was I wish I was more like relaxed taking videos of myself while I'm working and sharing that with people as well. Because I think people would kind of like to see my vlog over just seeing the content that I'm creating and like the show and appearance that I'm making. I think a vlog would be really interesting, but I don't know if it would be interesting to anybody but me. But it might show the struggles of like an entrepreneur, right? And I think that's what people are more connected with and why people watch YouTube. Again, I'm just nervous to get into that avenue. Doing the podcast was like a daunting task in itself, and now that I'm doing it, it's really exciting. So maybe I'll enjoy doing the vlog.
Facts.
Won't even have to edit it and just turn it on and go.
Yeah. Well, like cut it and stuff, right?
Why?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't need it. Like, what are people watching on YouTube, right? Like, I think we'd be so surprised to see how people consume content. I've
noticed though for podcasts, like with once they start doing visuals, like the views do go up. Like people do like watch it too. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm gonna rearrange this room so that we have a couch right here.
Oh, word.
And then we'll each have a mic. We'll each have a side table.
Yeah.
Be able to swing the mic in, and then we'll kind of just. But I'm deciding also, because it might be nice if I had two like pretty cool chairs, and then the mic sat on a middle table, and they like came in this way, and then we could kind of look at each other too, because it might be awkward if we're just sitting on a couch and we have to like. But yeah, I want to get the video.
2 chairs is a good idea.
I want to get the video going really badly.
3 chairs, yeah.
It's just it's just a huge. That's a big undertaking.
Yeah, it's a mission, man. It's
the
a lot of work.
The video might be the hardest part of all of this.
It's a lot of work.
Do people want? It's interesting though. I'm like, fuck. Do people want to see me sit here like this?
They do though, because there's like the shit that's like both scratching or shit. Like, you know what I mean? There's just like actions and talking. Like people, I don't know. People throw the mood lighting in here. People like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm also thinking I could probably just even turn the desk like into the middle of the room. And divide the room like we're talking across the desk.
Totally. That'd be chill as fuck.
It would just look really weird in here at other times, but, you know.
Yeah.
At what point does the podcast take priority?
True. Well,
because I shoot videos that way.
So if it keeps going up the charts, then maybe it is, you know. You boys getting hot out here, so.
Yeah, well, everybody please scroll down. If you're listening to this, open up your phone. Rate 5 stars if you think it's 5 stars, but please rate it 5 stars.
Rate it 5 star anyways.
Yeah, please. And throw a comment down, because when you comment, these are the things that help me get prioritized, and one of the reasons I'm showing up in the top 100 food podcasts since we launched.
Oh, can you comment on Spotify as well?
I don't know if you can comment on Spotify. I'm not as well versed as I am on iTunes podcasts, because I don't know why I'm looking at that one as the only one that matters. It's kind of like me just focusing on Instagram. I don't just focus on Instagram, but I
Yeah.
focus on Instagram too much where I should be focusing on other shit more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish I wrote more LinkedIn articles.
Word.
I wish I
Is
stopped.
LinkedIn popping like that?
Not really, not yet, but people do read the articles
Word.
when I post them.
Yeah.
I wish I was writing more. I've made some partnerships with a bunch of media houses,
Yeah.
and I don't like writing that much.
Yeah.
But I have a lot to write about, and when
Yeah.
I did sit down and write one night for like an hour and a half, I wrote 5 stories, and they all got submitted. 2 of them already been published.
Wow.
And it's like in a really credible place. I was on the Herb Life. Go check it out, theherblifestyle.com.
Yeah.
Read about the modern host or cannabis and wine pairing. But I'm really excited to like write some more for this new magazine called The Planter's Guide. And then actually somebody I should connect you with is my man Joey Bravo. Ooh, shit. Shit. So respectmyregion.com is like a hip hop blog for the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
And these guys are killing it.
Yeah.
3 million plus interactions on Facebook a month, million plus interactions on Twitter a month.
That's fire.
I met them when they flew me to Bel Air to do this awesome party. And my man Joey is crushing it. Like, we're working on some awesome stuff right now, and I'm writing for them, but they write about hip hop.
Yeah.
They do new upcoming hip hop, and they're looking for like content creators to like crush with. Like, they wanna make people famous.
Dude, that's fucking fire.
Yeah.
You should definitely plug us in, man. We could definitely see what's good.
Yeah, no, definitely. You gotta hit up Joey right after we leave. Be like, yo, I was just on Andy's podcast. I'll connect you guys
Sick.
in an email or whatever, and be like, yeah,
I'll send him a care package of some bangers so he can hear it himself and be like, oh, whoa.
dude, the more content you have, the better. They'll crush it. He's awesome.
Word.
He's awesome.
Let's get it.
Yeah, no, Joey's a good dude. Respectmyregion.com. Go check them out for the latest hip hop news, good
get it.
cannabis news. I'll be having a column on there.
That's dope. Fucking out here, bro.
Yeah, doing everything, writing that book for homie. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of writing. I've learned to transcribe with
Yeah.
the microphone.
Yeah. Honestly, some of the stuff you say, it's like, I was even thinking, I'm like, man, you should be a writer in my head when you were talking. And then, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you are a writer. Because, yeah, that's fucking fire.
I just need to get paid to be a writer.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
It's coming, exactly. It's all about the hustle. It's all about just committing the time.
Facts.
You know what's dope? I googled my name, Cannabis Sommelier Andrew Freedman, and it was like 7-8 pages just straight of me.
Sick.
All this stuff, all this different aggregated
Just
content.
sucking your own dick, eh?
Straight the fuck up. I was like,
you got it sometimes.
but that was the moment I was like, okay, it's finally fucking working. Like, maybe they'll fucking verify me on Instagram soon. I try
Yeah.
every goddamn month and they never verify me.
What does it have to be? Don't you have to like prove that there's like fake accounts or some shit? Or like,
No,
what do you gotta do?
you just gotta prove that you're a real person, that you're credible. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, just Google my name. Please. They make you send a picture of your ID.
Oh shit.
And
that's hectic.
yeah, they're like, what's your alias? What if we search for you, what will you come up as? And every month I get turned down, and all I want is that little blue check mark, because it comes with so many advantages. The different marketing tools you get with that verified badge in your story are crazy.
Really?
You can swipe
man,
directly
that's why you
to
get that.
internet pages.
Yeah, swipe up.
Right now, you can only swipe to IGTV videos if you're not verified. You swipe
Yeah.
up, you can swipe to any internet page. The advantage of that is just insane.
Yeah, that's nutty. Like you can do that on Snap, but yeah, not IG.
I don't utilize Snapchat.
No.
It's it just died out for me.
What do you find your crowd is like for like the sommelier stuff?
Well, it's hard to say. It's a very mixed demographic, but I want to appeal to like a 40 to 65-year-old female demographic, well, a 30 to 65-year-old female demographic.
Okay.
But I feel like I have a lot of followers in the kind of 25 to 45 male demographic, and then I think I have a little bit older of a female demographic, maybe that 30 to 65 that I hope, but I know that it's male dominated, like 65-35,
Yeah.
which is not what I anticipated,
Yeah.
but I think it's because I'm more cannabis heavy than I am wine heavy. right? Like I'm definitely more cannabis focused on my Instagram posts and stuff than I am wine focused. So
you should hit him, wine week or something. You hit him with the wine.
Yeah, I should hit him with the wine.
For the ladies.
For the ladies. I just don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I always think about the content on Instagram. It's like, what do people want to see on Instagram? What's working? What's working right now? Cocktail videos. 1 minute 30 cocktail videos. Yeah. People seem to really like. Definitely. I did a video where I was just asking people out, thanking people and asking them to come listen to the podcast. Tell them what we were talking about. That one did really well. Yeah. But I did do one cocktail video that I thought was going to blow up, and it got like nothing. Like 20 likes. I invented a chocolate strawberry sour. Like nobody else on the internet had done it. I had this idea. I was like, oh, what's Valentine's Day? Chocolate strawberry.
I don't even know what a chocolate strawberry sour is.
It's a cocktail. Okay. So, do you know what like a whiskey sour or an amaretto sour drink would be?
I've heard of whiskey sour.
Okay, so if you had a whiskey sour, it's like well, mine I used lemon, but you can use lemon or lime depending on what your recipe is, depending on what your ingredients are. But you would use a sour citrus ingredient with your liquor, with a little bit of sweet, and
honey
then
or something
to get like a simple syrup. You could use honey or agave, whatever you wanted, whatever your recipe desires. Yeah. But then you use egg white to create foam on top. Yeah. So I made this strawberry simple syrup, and it was like Cointreau, liqueur, a red vermouth, like a sweet vermouth, vodka, infused strawberry simple syrup, and egg white shaken, and then I strained that out so the bottom was like this beautiful pinky red color, and then I had this layer of foam on top, and I dashed Aztec chocolate bitters on top, so when you drank it you would smell the chocolate, but you would taste the strawberry. And it was really delicious. Damn, Sarah loved it.
That sounds bomb.
Yeah, it was a good drink.
Dude, you're freaking what's it called? You're a dream. You're like a trophy. You're like a dream husband.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. I'm happy. Hopefully. I think Sarah says that a lot. She texts me. She's like, I miss you so much right now. She's like, I know you're podcasting, but I really miss you. I'm like, oh that's man. Nice. I love you too. You're sweet.
That warms my insides.
Yeah, now I just got to make some money, and then I'll be a real dream husband.
That's what's coming too, man. It's coming.
Yeah, eventually. Just with the hustle, right? That's what it's all about. Consistency is key. That's kind of one of the big things I'm learning is like the more content, the more consistent content, the more you show up on a big stage too, is one of the interesting things. Because if you are hitting it and you have this like moment and you follow it up with a bunch, but then you don't have another moment, it seems to like you, like, I don't know, at least in my case, lights have always flickered for me. Yeah. Which is interesting. So I'm excited for my big moves.
Yeah, word.
In the next 2 months.
Hell yeah, man. I feel the same.
Level up. You always got to keep it going, right? You make that content, yeah, and then just have that.
And that's what I've been doing this whole time, is just loading it up, and now I have enough where I can just consistently just let it go and just consistently feed people, and like I have a really cool way I'm gonna do it, and then it's all gonna lead into like other shit, and yeah.
The only thing I've ever built up is the podcast.
Yeah, well, shit, it's going well, man. Thank you for having me.
Dude, it's awesome. Thanks for being here. It's cool getting to know you.
Definitely.
No, the podcast, I thought to myself, when I first started the YouTube channel, I would do my cannabis, my beer pairing or my wine pairing the day before I would release it. I would always feel fucking pressured. Yeah. But I wanted it to be authentic, and I didn't want to be like doing a whole bunch of stuff in the same day. Like I wanted to be learning and throughout the weeks and like, see the change.
Definitely.
But the podcast, just because the amount of time that it actually takes to have the conversation, the after edit, I don't know why people complain. I'm an audio engineer. Like I put my 10,000 hours into it. Like, but I don't know why people complain about the after editing and all the stuff that it takes. Cause
you went with Justin to.
I never went. I laughed. I straight up laughed at people that went to audio engineering school
and took tutorials.
Yeah, man. YouTube University. I say this all the time. Anything you ever want to learn is free on the internet. if you're too lazy to find it, then like don't fucking waste your money at university. I never went to university. Like let me tell you, everything I ever learned was, well, I kind of did, but everything I ever learned was on the internet. But I think I was fortunate. My dad knew the dude that started the beach. The school they went to. And I went there when I was like 18. And I've been like playing drums, and I kind of knew a little bit of guitar.
Musical cat.
Yeah, but I wasn't like, I had no crafted skill at all. I never even jammed with somebody. And I went there and I was like, yeah, I want to make music. And the dude, Lanny Davidson, he's like, I don't teach people how to make music. He's like, that's the grand illusion of this school, is that I can teach you creativity. But he's like, don't come here because you're just going to waste your father's money. And he's like, I'm only saying this because your dad's a friend. He's like, go and learn absolutely everything you can by yourself. And when you've run out of every other option and you've exhausted every last learning tool that you could find for free, that's when you should come here to learn to be an audio engineer.
Damn.
And I took that advice straight to heart. I was like, thank you. Like, that is some of the most straight up, real, fucking great advice I have ever gotten in my life. Yeah, and that guy makes a living off of taking people's money to go to school at his place.
The biggest school, the biggest house.
Like, our homie went. So this is a great example, though. I know a lot of people that have a degree from there that have never produced a track, recorded a track, made a beat.
Oh, serious?
Bro, think about it. I
know
lots.
That's true. I know a couple of people like that too, yeah.
And it's, you know what's fucked up? We both know a couple. Yeah. That's like $100,000.
Jeez.
Right? That guy gotcha. He can't teach you creativity. You're coming here to have a dream. Like, man, making beats is easy. At one point, I started making 2 or 3 a day.
That's fire. That's really fire.
Once you get good at it, put your 10,000 hours in, sit at the computer, learn music, fucking get good. Maybe I'm just a psychopath. Like, I don't know.
But no, not at all, man. I know people that could do that too.
Sarah is always like, it's too easy. Everything seems too easy for you, and I'm like, no, I put in the time.
Yeah, I didn't just like start now.
Yeah, you're just not watching like the time, like the thousands of hours that it takes to get here.
Yeah.
It's not exactly. Yeah, none of it's easy.
None of it's overnight, man.
Yeah, nothing's overnight. I was playing guitar a few nights ago. She's like, "Oh, it just came so easy to you." I'm like, we're 2 years into me like playing guitar a half hour or an hour a day now. Like, when I was first learning, because I took lessons when I was a kid, but I never learned fucking anything. Yeah. I literally couldn't play a lick. And then last summer, not this summer, but last summer, 2 years. Yeah. My parents went away to a family reunion. I didn't go. Saw this guitar I had bought when I was 14 that I never learned to play. I was like, I'm gonna learn to play this guitar. Yeah. And here right now, I'm fucking ripping it. Feels great.
Did you just teach yourself off YouTube?
Fuck yeah, YouTube University, baby.
I'm gonna teach myself keyboard off of YouTube because I want to get like to help the producers and like do shit, do melodies and stuff.
Yeah, be in it.
Exactly. I'm a good backseat producer. Like I'll help choose the sounds and like which snare and like what type of hat, like just the vibe of it and like direct it. And like, you know what I mean? But I don't know how to fucking press the buttons and
get the program. That was the only reason I started making beats. I was rapping. Mm-hmm. I was buying beats. I was working with people. Like always constantly, like that was the biggest struggle. Like, yo, you have any beats for me? Do you have anything that's good? Like, let me see what you're making. Yeah. And fucking there was never any goddamn beats, and I didn't have money to pay for them. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can make them. Yeah. And it was pretty fucking easy. I don't know, like I was a drummer, and that was the easiest translated part of making boom bap beats. Was like finger drumming was literally something I'd been doing my whole life on my desk. Yeah. And it was just like bam, and then nobody was listening. Yeah. And then I made one dance track. Yeah. Everybody listened, and I was like, oh, well, I might as well keep doing this. And that was the moment where I was like always trying to put lyrics on everything. Yeah. Try and rap on top of everything, and I always kept that in the back of my mind with the vibes. Yeah. But it just like, start clicking out house music or fucking techno or trap music or whatever. And then it was good. And but yeah, just like you're saying, if you're good at it, if you got an ear for it, you might as well just do it, because
Facts.
Honestly, the coolest thing I've ever seen and what I always dreamed of doing was having everything on stage.
Yeah.
Like, I had this one great write-up in Beetroot where this chick came in. Well, I was like, it'd always been my dream. I got this MIDI Fighter 3D. It's like an XY controlled MIDI instrument with arcade buttons.
Oh, it's like, it looks like a guitar?
No, it's like a little arcade button box like this.
Oh, shit.
And but when you spin it, it changes the effects and stuff. So I had mapped it so I could fucking rock out with it. And this walked in when I was playing like my own beats like made on stage to this like fucking XY controlled MIDI player, and I was like, this is dope. And then I was able to like rap on stuff sometimes, like it's Souls of Mischief.
Yeah.
I opened and I made a beat live on stage, and then I rapped on it, and I was like, this is my dream, because when I see people do this on stage, this is what gets my dick hard. Like this is what a true musician is. Yeah. Right? Even when I see just like a lame, if somebody just strumming a guitar, it's so much more impressive than if they were just singing without it.
Because they're doing it on the spot. Like A-Rap Music. You ever see A-Rap Music occasion on NPC?
Dude, I saw A-Rap Music at Coachella.
Oh,
he played 4 NPCs at the same time. It was crazy. He was like all over the place. Dude, it was intense. It was crazy. So fucking dope. He played right before ASAP Mob, and I saw the whole mob in 2012.
My boy went to that with Thomas Stundon. He was there too.
Yes.
He's like, dude, some dude fainted behind him. He was on acid as well. A lot of acid talk.
Tom Berg.
He's like, and then at the end, fucking, he's like, everyone throw your blunts up. And everyone fucking tossed like a fucking rain of blunts on stage. Like,
I have a video of it. And then he's like, oh man, this threw a bag of cocaine on stage. And he's like, you two bitches. And he grabs these chicks out of the stage, and he's like, this ASAP, what's his nuts? Rocky. And he's like, and he starts going, he like busts a bag of coke, and he's just like, coke and white bitches. It was sick. It was so heat.
Yeah, and that's when he first dropped that first mixtape, Live Love ASAP or whatever too.
Yeah, Long Live ASAP.
Long Live ASAP.
Dude,
it's amazing.
That was that Coachella 2012 with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and ASAP Mob and
Kendrick, Frank Ocean, Weekend.
Frank Ocean sounded exactly like he did on Orange or whatever. Like when he was, and I was like, holy shit, you sound identical. We walked in the first day for Kendrick Lamar. I have videos of this too. It's incredible. Yeah. We walk in the first day because Kendrick Lamar was playing at like 11:30 or 12 on the main stage, and
this is right after Good Kid, Mad City dropped, right? Or was it before that?
I think it was before.
Yeah, but before it dropped.
It was before Good Kid, Mad City, because this was the moment, because he did the recipe with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg on Sunday to 120,000 people, and that was like the moment. And then Good Kid, Mad City, I think, came out that week.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
And I gotta fact check that one.
Maybe.
But we walked into Coachella. Yeah. Literally walked straight to the main stage, and there was nobody there. I went to the front fucking row and watched all of Kendrick Lamar's performance.
That's sick.
And he did the recipe by himself. The coolest part was when he did the recipe by himself.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, after the Tupac hologram, they did the recipe together. And people went, when Dr. Dre was like, my man, Kendrick Lamar, like, that parallel to me was just like, what the fuck? This is your moment. That's that moment, right?
Yeah.
Those are those moments in life that change everything.
Facts. So maybe that's cool. You got to see that, man. And like all those guys, like Weeknd had just like officially dropped the trilogy that year too. Like
I didn't go and see the Weeknd.
That was weird. Even so though, like that was a special year, man.
I'm playing that recipe track on Friday actually because it means so much to me.
Yeah.
Because it was like one of those crazy moments.
You got to see the difference, like when it was just like
the dude I went with died right after. He got hit by a car on his bike.
Damn, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Josh.
Who was it?
Yeah, Josh Thompson. That was raw. Anyways. Fucking awesome time. Yeah. There.
Didn't you go with a bunch of homies from here? Was that the same year?
I took Justin. Like, I think it was the next year, 2 years later. I kind of was like, everybody has to come with me because the next year, me and
y'all were like on the golf course, right?
Yeah. The next year, me and 2 buddies went on a road trip, and we drove from Calgary to California to Coachella.
Yeah.
And that was just such a fucked up road trip. The first day, dude got arrested for doubling the speed limit.
Oh,
and we
man.
had to go and bail him out of this like butt-fuck nowhere jail.
In America?
Yeah, in literally the middle of nowhere, Idaho.
It's horrible. In Idaho? That's not on the way to California, is it?
It is.
Okay, I don't know.
It is if you're coming down like the fast way. And so we got like totally delayed. And it's crazy. Cops will take, if you get a speeding ticket, you can pay them cash right there on the side of the road. Like, they're like, yeah, you can pay this now with cash.
Wow.
And it's like, what? So that happened multiple times. Anyways, that was crazy because we camped at Coachella.
Oh, was that bad in the desert, like fucking hot heat?
Let me just tell you, the guy that I fucking went with may not have been in the best shape at this point in his life.
Yeah.
Pretty big fucking disaster.
He was not, little burly.
So there's a few jobs, right? Like I coordinate most of things. I've booked everything. Like I figured it all out. I got the maps. I got the places we're gonna stay on the way. I got the homies to stay at before we're there. You know, like that's my part. I'm done.
That's fire.
Next part is like one dude's bringing the car. Okay, borrows this car. Oh, this is a great story too. Borrows this car from his stepmom, his new stepmom.
His news, okay.
Who he doesn't really like. And then the other homie's job is to have the camping supplies.
Yeah.
So we go to dude's house. We pick up this dude's stepmom's car. We still had winter tires on. We're driving to fucking California. We're staying in Las Vegas for 2 days.
Jeez.
And we go to dude's house to pick up the camping stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so the camping stuff's like in the garage, in the roof. I'm going out to get laid.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and we're like, no, you're not. And he's like, yeah, I'm gone. And literally just dips.
Wow.
And we're supposed to leave like the next morning. Like we got an itinerary. We got places we need to be. Like
Totally.
we bought show tickets in Vegas and stuff. Like we're going to see Blue Man Group and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the planning things that I did.
Yeah, that's fine. Yo, you're a fucking good.
So dude leaves and we pack up this fucking stuff and and there's nothing's labeled.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing's labeled. And so we're like digging through all of his parents' shit, basically, trying to figure out what to bring. And so the one thing we don't find is like a stove. And he's like, oh, it's right here. He grabs it. So anyways,
It would have been bad if you found like some like 1970s pictures of like his mom in like some like next panties.
No,
like,
she was super hot.
Oh, she's a baddie.
Oh, dude, I would have been. Oh, that was always the joke.
You probably would have whacked it when you got home to those pictures.
Everybody was always ripping on him that his mom was super hot.
Shit, that would have been the right mom to find Polaroids of.
Yeah. So we finally get there. Yeah. We buy all this shit for the camping.
Yeah. Oh, because he didn't even have it.
No.
So you had to hit like Canadian Tire.
We bought a few things, but we went and shopped for like food for our campsite.
Necessities.
Dude busts out this little ass like backpackers stove.
Oh, like a hot, like a little gas little thing.
Like literally like a tiny little
it's like
candle
this
burner.
Big of like a hot plate, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
like maybe like 2 inches in diameter. And we're like, dude, we fucking bought bacon and all this stuff. What do you expect us to do with this? He's like, cook on it. And we're like, what planet are you on?
Yeah.
So anyways, that was one disaster. But sleeping in this tent in the putrid heat, like it's 35 degrees in the Sonoran Desert. It was
even in the night.
In the night, it's like still hot, 20 degrees. In the morning, though, sun rises early. It's hot.
It's like man, sticky.
So we didn't realize that, and we painted the car because there's this thing called Carpoolchella.
Okay.
And so we get all these like car markers.
Okay.
And we draw up the car with the homies in Huntington Beach, and so like. You know, like some of it was tastefully done, and it was like pretty Coachella. But there's some like kind of stuff on there too.
Like some dicks and like
no dicks, like some tags and stuff or whatever,
okay.
And some other stuff. But it was mostly like big Ferris wheels and all the acts we were excited to see, and cool. Coachella. It was pretty cool, but we also drew like we covered in paint, like we were drawing big triangles and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't realize, like, this paint will come off. We tested it right there, like, make sure that it's not leaving anything behind because this dude's mom's car.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize, like, leaving it in the sun in the desert for 4 days might fucking bake it on.
Oh, fuck.
So like...
Oh, man. That's horrible.
So we, like, Sunday happens, we, like, party. We pack up our shit. We basically sleep in the car. And, like, as soon as the gates are open, we, like, drive out. And we're driving down Route 66 as the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
And it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's been the middle of the night. And I'm like, first gas station we see. Oh no, we didn't. We hit the gas station before we drove down Route 66.
Okay.
So we hit this gas station, and I'm like, hey, we gotta get this fucking stuff off, or we're gonna get pulled over for sure.
Yeah.
And at this point, we had collected cannabis and all these things from being a music festival and being traveling. And we go through this car wash, expecting like everything to literally like fall off the car.
Yeah.
And we get out of the car to look, and it's literally everything's still there,
Nothing
just shiny.
Nothing is off.
Everything is perfect, just fucking pretty and shiny.
Oh no.
And so we had, during this concert, Wu-Tang Clan had performed, and a sandstorm had happened, because this is in the desert, right?
Yeah.
We had left the windows down in the car.
Fuck,
I
bro.
hadn't. They left the windows down in the car. So a sandstorm. This car had like 12,000 kilometers on it when we took it.
Yeah.
And we drove, I think it was 14,000 K there. No, not that much. I think it was like 7,000 K there and back.
That's hectic.
It was a long drive.
Yeah.
I gotta check those stats.
Yeah, word.
Maybe 5,000 K there and back.
Fair enough.
And so the windows were down, snow tires on, and we're like, okay, we gotta get this shit off the car. We're like, how do we get it off? I'm like, get paint thinner.
Okay.
And they're
That's
like,
not a bad idea.
They're like, paint thinner? I'm like, yeah, but it's probably gonna fuck the car up.
It'll thin the paint.
Yeah. And they're like, well, like, we gotta get home and we gotta take it to a body shop. We can't. And I'm like, they're like, we'll just leave it. And I'm like, no. We can't just leave it. And Tyler, whose mom's car this is, he's like,
Which
can't.
Tyler is this?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's not one you know. He's like, we can't just leave it. So many great stories from this trip. And so we get the fucking paint thinner, and we get scrub brushes.
Yeah.
You can already understand how this went. We scrubbed basically the coating layer
paint
off this car.
No.
And it wasn't even all the way good. Like, we ruined this car. Inside, we smoked in it. This lady like casually smoked. 3 of us smoked heavy cigarettes on a road trip all the way through there.
God, like
days, left the windows down in a sandstorm, and then literally peeled the top layer of paint off the entire car. And we drove back. This was the best part. This was straight out of a National Lampoon's movie. We're driving back, and we get pulled over again.
For what? Speeding?
Yeah. And this lady's like, what happened to the car? Because we were on like, they're black rims, they're on snow tires, right?
Yeah.
Like, it looks like we've had to replace the rims. The car looks beat to shit.
Yeah, like fucked.
We had to peel the 3M off the front because the 3M was just saturated with
like
the
a Grand
paint.
Theft Auto fucking...
Dude, it was a disaster.
You had to peel off the 3M?
And I'd literally been joking, like, maybe an hour before. I was like, yo, if we get pulled over, like, or if they ask at the border, you gotta tell them we stopped in a bad neighborhood. And they painted our car.
And they painted?
Yeah, because like our car has clearly been graffitied, right?
Yeah.
And so...
Oh, so you didn't like... So when you guys scraped off the layer, you didn't scrape it off all over? You just saw that it scraped it and you were like, fuck!
No, we scraped the whole thing, but it was like there was no... We would have to spend hours to do it perfectly.
And you were like, fuck it, we'll just get it painted when we're back?
I don't think, dude, paint... Yeah, we did have to repaint it.
Alright, but yeah, carry on. So yeah, you got pulled over?
And dude's like... She's like, what happened to the car? And he's like, oh, we stopped in a bad neighborhood.
Was it a white cop?
In Montana.
And was she like, oh dear?
Yeah.
Oh my. America's so fucked. She's like, darling, I'm glad you're safe.
I'll never forget, on that drive back, we stop in Idaho. Dude goes in the most, this is so terrible, he goes in the most innocent, like, country cafe. Yeah. And he comes running out and he's like, go. And we're like, what? He's like, I just did an upper decker.
What's an upper decker?
He's like, I shit myself in the toilet. He's like, fuck Idaho.
Damn, why? Did he have like some bad potatoes or something? Or?
No, because he got arrested in Idaho for doubling the speed limit.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Poor girl, fucking Margaret, fucking, I assume she's big, had to fucking clean it up, man. Poor woman.
Ruthless.
It's horrible.
So we get tats while we're there.
Idaho?
No, in California.
Okay.
On this road trip.
Idaho? I'm like, from who? From Jethro?
Yeah, we were in Idaho we had to stay the night. We were trying to get a bong somewhere, and like people were like, "You can't get a bong."
Yeah, that sounds like a Gucci Mane lyric. I was trapping out of Idaho, you know?
Hey, I'm about it. This rap music shit, this is real life.
You were
all
trapping
right?
out of Idaho. No, but what's it called? They're like, you can't get a bong. Why? Because it's like so like old-fashioned. Like, not old-fashioned, but like, you know, like conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
We were asking for stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what? No, they kept saying some town." Because we were in this one town, and they were like, "Maybe if you try over down in Norlandaville."
I don't even remember. New Hanover. Have you played Red Dead?
Dude, we hit like not 15. That's an exaggeration. 4 or 5 like gas stations or tobacco stores
Trying to get
asking
some
for a
gas.
pipe or a bong.
Yeah.
No, we didn't even need that.
Okay. Well, how did the fuck did you get across the border with that shit? I thought they do like fucked up thorough searches.
No. Nobody's searching shit.
What?
That time, I only took like a tiny little bit of oil with me, like butter, and we hit that off a cigarette. But I found cannabis on Instagram.
Damn.
But you know, like, you can take drugs all over the world. And even though now, I don't know, you probably realize this through Instagram, like, you want something, it's pretty easy to find the guy. Like, you can literally just search like weed in Calgary, 2 hashtags, or fucking Google it.
Yeah.
And well, this was back in the prehistoric days of Instagram, but I hit those 2 hashtags wherever we go.
Yeah.
And then I just hit people up and comment and be like, "Hey, I'm in town. Can you help me out?"
Wow. That's some serious networking.
Guerrilla marketing, baby. That's what we're about. When I did my first album,
Yeah.
and only album,
Yeah.
I got these things. This dude, Jeff, don't remember his last name, but he's in church.
Jeff Goldblum, that's who it was.
Yeah. No, this dude's fucking crushing it. He's been on tour with Zed's Dead and all these guys for a while now. He's signed to some huge label.
Damn.
They've been fucking crushing it. I feel bad that I'm not plugging them harder. Church, great guys. They're going to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that's the homies.
But he told me, he was like, "You got to get these drop card things." I was like, "What's a drop card?" He's like, "It's a download card." Before I'd ever seen download cards, he's like, "A download card that tracks all of your analytics and all of your data. And then you can literally, if you want the highest end one, you can plant it in the ground and it turns into flowers." He's like, "If you're going to Coachella," he's like, "take a stack of these and take them with you."
Download card.
You should do these.
What is it? It turns into a tree?
No. I didn't buy those ones because those were $1.50 more. But it's
Okay.
literally just a plastic card,
Yeah.
pretty nice, and which
It just has all your info on it.
Not even it. If you turn around, it had that album on it. I released that album and I co-produced another album, and so we did both of them on this one download card.
Yeah.
I got one downstairs still that I'm going to show you after this.
Word.
And literally on the back it was like, to download these albums, go here, and it had our own hosting thing.
Okay. I just had all the links on the back.
Just one link.
Okay, word.
And it had a scratch off code to make it like special.
Yeah.
And then with that code came analytics, because people would choose to submit their name, their email address, and you could see where people were downloading from, where in the world, and how many were actually being downloaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was
That's fire. You can track it.
That was like 2014, and it was fucking great because
That's before Spotify like took over the world.
yeah, because I could leave before Apple Music and all this stuff.
Yeah, before streaming.
Because I could take it out in my pocket. At first, I was trying to sell them for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
Which was pretty easy, to be super honest with you. Like, people don't mind giving you $5 for your music.
Yeah.
But then it was like a business card. Mm-hmm. Then it was like, shit, I can give this out to somebody and be like, just please enter all your stuff and I'll hit you with an email.
Yeah.
And that's when it started really becoming a tool, because people were like, wow, this is fucking cool. When I stopped asking people for $5 and just gave it to them, people love free shit.
Facts. Big time. Free shit, man.
Drop card, check it out.
Drop card. I'll check that out.
But you could probably make one now on any hosting site. It's just the analytics that came with it were pretty cool.
Yeah.
And how professional the card was. Like, it actually felt and looked like
a credit card or some shit, or like a fucking...
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of musicians actually use it. Like, they've done it for a lot of like big companies.
Yeah.
so it's not an unfamiliar piece of
Yeah,
swag
it's not like
to get.
obscure. Yeah, it's not obscure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not cumbersome either. That's what's nice about it versus like a CD. USB drive, the risk of a USB drive is that somebody uses it and deletes your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did, I ordered 500 USB sticks from China, and I put my name on it. It says Defangs with like my logo. So
That's really sick.
So and then I preloaded all of them with like my EPK, my best tunes, and like a video.
Yeah.
And I would just hand it. Literally everybody that I thought should have one, I would give one to, and I'd always have 2 or 3 in my pocket.
How much did you get those for?
$1.60 a piece, maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it was well worth the investment.
Not bad,
I still
man.
have 150 of them probably.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, but what else was dope was when I started plugging them into CDJs. It said my name because that was the one thing I saw was missing. Every time I would DJ, I didn't often use CDJs, but all these people would be up there and they'd have absolutely no branding as a local DJ.
Yeah.
And then I saw these and I was like, oh, I can literally put my name at the very front of the picture twice.
In front of what picture?
So you imagine like the DJ booth.
Yeah.
You're the DJ. You got your CDJs and you have your USB sticks in it.
Yeah.
I put the branding on the like the slide out of the USB, so it would say my name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then you can see it there. That's
Yeah,
fire.
well, my name's there twice, and you actually know who the picture's of, because that
That's
was like a
fucking fire.
huge thing. I'd get all these sweet DJ photos, and
No one would know. Like, it would just be a DJ.
yeah, it's good for my EPK, but there wasn't like the correct branding for me in it.
It's fucking smart, man. You've been beast with the branding from day one.
Yeah, I talked about this with this dude Donnie yesterday. I think he said it best. Like I'm a good marketer and I'm a terrible salesperson. I just
It's funny.
yeah,
I'm good with sales.
I'm not good at closing the sale.
Yeah.
That's something I'm really bad at doing, is like asking for the sale.
I'm the opposite. We'd be dream team. You're good with the marketing. I'm good with closing.
Yeah, ABC has never made sense to me. I'm like, build friends, and then maybe they'll just give something to me.
No, that's true though, man. You put out good shit, good things will come back to you. That's a fact.
Eventually, that's
Exactly.
true. As long as people don't take advantage of you.
That's true. Fuck. I was talking to one of a different homie where I was like, some shit went RE with someone, and I was just like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna like, I just gave like unlimited love to them and like try to always help them, and like then I found out they were like trying to drag my name through the mud, whereas like on the other hand, I'm like going to other cities, like talking them up, like helping them like music wise. And then I'm like, yeah, fuck that, never again, da da da. And my homie's like, yo, he's like, you can't let the energy vampire fucking kill the love within you. He's like, you gotta still keep putting that love out there. He's like, and then it'll come back to you. I was like, damn, that really stuck with me. So fucking
Fuck the energy. Somebody just said that shit to me too.
no way.
Yeah, my buddy Tom Cruise of Rosin, T-Core, he was like,
I thought you were like Tom Cruise. I was like, yeah, oh damn. I was like, okay.
oh, I like Tom Cruise of Rosin. He's a good dude because
Yeah.
we tell it to each other. Like, what I like about our friendship is we just give it to each other straight up.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no bullshit, no cookie cutter. Like, it's fucking straight up, and I appreciate the shit of him for that, and he appreciates me for it, and it's good.
Where's he from?
Calgary.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, he makes rosin. He's a good dude.
word.
And he's like, yeah, man, you gotta cut fucking energy suckers, energy vampires out of your life. He's like, there's people that just are going to fucking waste your time, and they're gonna eat you alive, and they're gonna make you feel those feelings that you feel right now for the rest of your life. There's gonna be nothing you can fucking do about it, and they're just gonna eat at you. He's like, you just, at some point, you have to decide, cut them off or fucking live with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. And he's in he's talking about family
Yeah.
to give some perspective.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, I got cut them off.
Yeah, it's hectic until they fucking start acting right and come back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Some people are just energy suckers. There's, you can't save everybody ever. That's
Definitely.
one hard thing to remember, is that sometimes you should be selfish,
Yeah.
which is a really fucked up idea.
Yeah.
But that selfishness comes with self-awareness, I think,
Yeah.
and understanding where your priorities lie.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to say, since you do it, what is like for a Riesling, what's a good type of weed pairing, like, would you say?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
Because Riesling, that's my favorite wine, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So like, this is something that I could ask you that like, no, you know what I mean? No one would really tell me.
One of the delicious ones I have right now
Yeah.
that I would really highly recommend is Sour Ambrosia.
Sour ambrosia, damn.
There's these characteristics in Sour Ambrosia that are like, the lemon cream is there and like the gas is there, but it has this beautiful ginger characteristic, candied ginger, and it just seems to meld so well and just amplify like almost the body and the sweetness.
Yeah, is this the weed or the wine we're talking?
We're talking about the weed,
the cannabis,
and
right.
what it does, or the cannabis, and what it does to the wine.
Okay, word, damn, man.
Yeah, so sour ambrosia is really nice. What I would say to stay away from is like people. Well, I first assumed, I wouldn't say people because I'm the guy, which is crazy that nobody else does this. Super lemon haze and, your really bright, sour citrus flavors.
Yeah, like diesel and shit.
The diesel works well because it has some funk behind it.
Yeah.
And that goes well with like the slaty gassiness of the Riesling.
Yeah.
But one of the big things I found is like a little bit of sweetness in the Riesling will really help, but a contrasting flavor does wonders. But not like a Kush contrast, just like something candied and sweet. But if you can leave out the lemon or lime characteristic, sometimes the lemon lime characteristic, if you smell that in your cannabis and you're drinking a white wine, there's a pretty good chance that it will probably make your wine taste more alcoholic.
Yeah, I could see that. Like brings it out.
It just puts it out of balance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you're looking for something, like a gingered quality, I've had a Congo Kandahar that was amazing.
Yeah. Never heard of
the
that.
sour ambrosia. Man, I'd like to make some other references. If you're an OG guy, Skywalker would probably do really well because it has the haze, it has the OG, and it has like all these this depth of characteristics. So that would be a good one to look at as well.
Word, Skywalker OG, that's a legendary one.
Yeah, it's hard. 2012 Coachella trip. This dude gets I get out of this cab and I bought a grinder and I just got cross blunts and weed leaves tattooed over my leg. And this guy's like, "Yo, man, do you have a grinder?" And I was like, "Yeah, you don't sound like you're from here." He's like, "No, I'm from Canada." I was like, "Me too." And I had bought a half ounce of Skywalker OG and headband, and he had this cannabis called Darth Vader, and we rolled it up and called it the Force. And it was just, it was great.
That's fire.
I feel like that was before legal cannabis in California, and we were like walking down the street smoking huge doinks.
That's crazy, damn. But it was like it's always been a little bit more open and casual, like out there for the most part.
That was in Palm Desert though, so I don't know if they're like that into it. That's kind of old people land.
I'm not into it.
They had made the dispensaries like out of the city. I remember there's this chick on Instagram, Connoisseur. What are you pointing at?
Yeah, the Lakers thing. Are you a Lakers fan?
Yeah, I got Lakers colors on my leg.
Say a word.
Yeah.
I'm a new Lakers fan from this season because of the Kang.
You're a new Lakers fan?
Yeah.
If anything, I would say I'm an old Lakers fan.
You're a vet. I used to hate on them because like the Kobe LeBron debate, and I'm a LeBron guy.
Okay.
But
LeBron's great.
Yeah, word. And so I was like, and honestly, with Cleveland, like, do you follow basketball?
Yeah, not so this year that much, but like the Raptors now.
Like the last year before, like LeBron, like that team with Cleveland that he like dragged to the finals. I was like, man, fuck this team. I hope LeBron goes somewhere else because I'm tired of. I don't want to cheer for the Cavs no more, man. Screw these guys.
LeBron, come to the Raptors.
Yeah, no, well, he's there now. You can hope for maybe AD or something, or like fucking. One of these big guys, but I don't know. I don't think Lowry's a championship point guard, man.
But with the
Kawhi is a championship player for sure, but I don't know if Lowry's a championship point guard.
But they got Marc Gasol now. They got Kawhi.
Wasn't Valanciunas having like a really good year, like a double year?
Yeah, but Mark's way better.
I guess. I swear the numbers aren't that off.
No, but Marc Gasol's a more commanding player. JV's still kind of like lanky.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol's a beast.
Yeah, Marc is pretty fire. Yeah, they this is their year, I feel. Especially if Kawhi doesn't stay, this is their shot.
That's what I said. I was like, they're a number 2, number 3 team. Like, I was pissed about the DeRozan trade.
Yeah.
But at this point with the rebuild, and the way that they've built it, if they don't fucking win, then I don't know if there's any chance unless you have LeBron. Like,
yeah, or like if like KD or someone crazy comes through because they're gonna be free agents.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, I know Steph's not gonna be free agent next year.
No, I don't know.
I know Clay is gonna be Clay, fucking KD, Kyrie might leave. It's looking like
Clay Dunkman?
yeah, no Clay Thompson.
Oh, okay.
Clay, and then Jimmy Butler, fucking a lot of people.
That's crazy. There's going to be a huge shift.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think now that after the trade deadline, like the 76ers, they're pretty crazy now too, man. And the East is actually not shitty anymore. LeBron just terrorized it. Like
LeBron versus MJ.
Yeah. Who do you got?
LeBron.
Yeah, me too. Respect.
LeBron would fucking run over
Fuck
Michael Jordan.
Fuck MJ, man.
Different game. He would just. I think he would fucking eat MJ.
Yeah.
Like, look at the size difference in those men.
Totally, man. Like he's like, I don't know. I think LeBron, like maybe it's just because that's our generation's guy, but like
different game of basketball.
Yeah, it's way different. It's definitely softer than it was then. Like those days they used to go hard. Like they were fucking really rough, whereas now it's like a lot like more fucking. Sorry, man.
What was that fucking Warrior show? It was like Ultimate Warrior or whatever, where they used to pit different like warriors from across time against each other on Spike television.
Oh, Deadliest Warrior.
Bro, they needed Deadliest Warrior, LeBron, and MJ.
Deadliest fucking sports warrior.
We ran our simulator through 150 tests. Isn't that like a concept of one of the Rocky movies and why he comes back to fight? He's like, no way, this guy's gonna beat me. I'm pretty sure that's one of the concepts of the new
Dude, that's a good Sylvester Stallone. No. Really? Because that's what a shitty concept. They're like,
spit out my beer.
There's some simulator that's like, oh, this guy's not as big good. He's like, you know what? Fuck that. You want smoke?
You want to count me out?
Facts. He's like, yo, fuck this simulator. I'm gonna prove it wrong.
Yeah, so you know what happens? He wins. Spoiler alert.
Is this the new Rocky? Like the one that happened? Like
No, the newest one is like as a kid or something.
Not Creed, not the Creed ones. But he did one like where it was like 20 years later.
I think he did 2 of them, didn't he? 20 years later. But yeah, that was definitely the one. 20 years later.
Yeah, he's really milking them. What's it called? That's so funny. I think that is why. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're thinking back to it.
One of the newer ones, so garbage. Yo. And the Expendables too, just all the washed up like OGs. So such a funny concept.
They're remaking all these movies like Aladdin, everything. It's blowing my mind. It's like
live action shit.
Nobody's got an original idea. Nobody can fucking think of a new Aladdin.
It's ridiculous.
If they changed the name and told almost the same story, would everybody just be like, "Oh, they fucking bit Aladdin," or would somebody be like, "Oh, they made a new Aladdin"?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know about live action Aladdin, but
it looks hype.
I don't know about live action Aladdin, but Will Smith is like, he's pretty solid. But
is Will Smith in it?
Yeah, he's Aladdin.
Will Smith is not Aladdin.
He's Aladdin.
No, they got a brown guy for Aladdin.
Will
a
Smith?
Nice young brown guy.
Oh, no, sorry. I mean the genie.
Oh, okay. I can see Will Smith as
what's the genie's name?
Just Genie, isn't it?
I thought the genie is Aladdin.
No, Aladdin is the street hustler who wears the fez cap and the
then
little tiny
who's the genie's
vest.
name?
Genie's Genie.
Are you sure?
Well, we can Google it. It was Robin Williams in the animated.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be Will Smith as the genie either way. You look that up.
What's going on? Genie name, Aladdin. Jafar.
That's the genie's name. I used to know Jafar's the bad guy, man.
Oh, after Jafar is defeated, Aladdin wishes the genie free from his lamp. Yeah, it's just Genie.
Okay, word. But yeah, so he's the genie. What was the one movie with like the fucking where the forest burns down? It was live action. They just redid it recently. And it's like a bear. I don't know. If it's a bear or if it's a kid. It's the Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
The forest burns down at the end,
necessities.
Right? The bear.
I didn't watch the newest one. I think they made the Mowgli one actually on Netflix. They've been doing the Jungle Book. They've been beating that one to death.
I feel like one of them is like recently. It's like there's like a tiger that's trying to kill the kid.
Yeah, I feel like that's the new Mowgli, the new Jungle Book.
I think it is. That was actually crazy. I'm not
the Netflix one.
No. It was like fucking.
The one in theaters.
It was in theaters.
There's another one on Netflix now.
What? Come on, guys.
I know they're really. But I'm like, how many times can you tell this damn story?
I was thinking that it's like, man, fucking everything's so unoriginal now. Everything is either sequel, remake, comic book movie based off a video game, based off a book. Like no original ideas.
How do you make a new genre of music? I tried to do that with a new house, but now people are getting it. They flip the beats and they like put the house beat in the middle of the rap beat, or they put the
switch ups and shit. Fucking, you just
people love that shit.
It'll come. Yeah, I'll show you some of the shit that I have coming. It's like there's some dance music in there, shit too. Like crazy, like house tempos, like
the switch ups. The one I used to love rapping at 120. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
4 on the floor beats, super easy to rap to.
Yeah,
you can catch this like a really sick flow.
Yeah,
and it's
simple.
They're heat for the dance floor.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you used to DJ, you would rap on it too sometimes when you're just like in the groove. That's
when people would give me a mic, some of the time.
Would people go ham?
Well, sometimes people would not give me the mic.
You sound hurt still.
Yeah,
still
man. I feel like
still haunts you.
Well, there's a lot of scenarios where like as the opener, you don't get the mic. I guess.
Definitely. Well, we were talking earlier about openers getting treated like shit by promoters.
Well, it's bullshit.
I'm a little wavy, man. I'm a super lightweight when it comes to liquor.
Awesome. So you're drunk.
Lightweight. I'm like cruiserweight, like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. But like when it comes to gas, then I'm like
You're like 3
heavy.
beers
I'm like
in.
Big Show. Andre the Giant when it comes to weed, when it comes to
That's
cannabis.
awesome. No, they used to hate me as an opener because I had this elaborate stage setup, right? And,
yeah, but you're a fucking showman. They don't understand.
Well, that was the hardest part about everything is I wanted to be big.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be a traveling musician.
Like
I wanted
doing
to
it.
I wanted to be fucking famous. I put so much time into it. I wrote so much music.
Yeah.
I was playing hour-long sets of all my music,
fire.
Playing it on stage, trying to produce as much of it on stage as I could, and like when you get booked from 9 to 10 o'clock, like people don't want your shit on stage.
People are there for you. My bad.
It's all good. No, I remember one show though specifically, which was dope. It was a free show, and it was Rusty, who's a huge trap artist, and I really looked up to him. He's massive in the UK, came from a drum and bass background, and I played a fucking killer set.
Yeah.
Like I smashed it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I don't know, you've never seen me perform, but I'm sure I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Like I'm very animated. Like I'm long and gangly,
Yeah.
and every bit of me is waving out there. Like I'm fucking just as stoked on the music.
Turning up, yeah.
Like I'm playing tunes that I really am stoked on.
Yeah.
And so I banged this set out.
Yeah.
And people were fucking. It was like one of the best sets I feel like
They
I've
were
ever
loving
played.
it, yeah.
Dude, Republic
Yeah, I remember that
before it
place.
closed.
Yeah.
Packed house. People going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty comes on and he plays this intro. It's like super long. Wolf going, and literally in that like 2.5 minutes, half the club left, 3/4 of the club left, and then they were like, "Man, you fucked it up. Like you hit it too hard."
They were done after that.
And I was like, "No, I didn't fucking hit it too hard. Like."
You hit it too hard?
I was doing my job. Like,
yeah,
this guy's getting paid, and he's here from the UK. He should be fucking making me look bad, no matter what.
No doubt.
But
you crushed it too hard.
Yeah, that pissed.
What a fucking whack! What the hell?
You can crush it too hard. You can definitely crush it too hard.
That happened recently for one of these shows. I think it was the Nav show. Like, there's a bunch of openers on before, but like 2 days before they got cut from it. Because like Nav is not a good performer. Like even when I was there, I was like, there's a lot of parts where like there's some good parts, but there's a lot of parts where I was like, man, I'm bored right now. Like, this is not, 88 Glam was crazy, but yeah, I was like, I'm like,
who have you got to open for? You dropped some sweet names at the start.
Who have it? Oh fuck, so many people, man. Like big names like French Montana, Meek Mill, Big Sean, Pusha T, Fabulous, Mos Def, Waka, Ace Hood. Fucking a lot of people, but I take much more pride in throwing my own shows because it's like I did that. Like you can't take shit from me there. Like I brought those people there for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
So
no, I feel you.
I'm most proud of this last one that we did like 2 days before New Year's, and it was like 150 people, and it was like packed out. And the one before that where it was like 300 people. So you know what I mean? Just fucking showing I can do it, and like yeah.
That's hype. I remember one of the sickest moments was like I got to open for so many big touring DJs and like chat with all of them and chat music, because that was one of the things. Nobody ever chatted music with music producers, and I'm like, well, let's talk about music. Not drugs or drinking or girls. Let's talk about music.
Yeah.
What the fuck was I talking about?
The opening.
I got to open for Souls of Mischief.
Oh, sick.
And I have a 93 Till Infinity tattoo.
Nice.
And that was just a really cool moment. They were really cool guys.
Yeah.
They were down to like chill and smoke and rap, and they actually set my homie up. They were in Vancouver the next day, and I was like, man, my buddy's got a hieroglyphics tattoo on his arm. Like
Shit.
loves you guys.
Yeah.
Like, he'd love to be here right now. He's like, shit. Well, We'll put his name on the list tomorrow. Here's my phone number.
Yeah.
Tell him to come smoke blunts after the show.
Time to link up, yeah.
Yeah, and he went and smoked blunts with Souls of Mischief after their show.
That's so sick.
Sajay, Opio, Festo.
You bring people together. You're bringing people together, man.
That was so cool.
What
and
a
like,
beautiful thing.
I wrote a song for them, Mischievous Soul. That's the beat I did all on stage, and then I rapped on it.
Oh, sick.
It was great.
That's tight. Which venue?
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth is dope.
What was the line? I feel like I even remember the line. Mischievous soul, and I don't know which way to go. Platinum or gold, but those things get old. On hip hop, I'm sold.
That is definitely some real hip hop shit.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, and then just bars, like 32 bars from 2 minutes, and
yeah.
I'm amazed I even remembered that.
Hey, man, when you're in it, you're feeling it.
Right. Well, fuck, I practiced it so many times. I would hope I'd remember. But that picture just came up on Instagram or on Facebook recently. Like my memory.
Yeah.
Stand on stage.
You seem just like anything you do, like you go fucking full send, no
full
breaks.
send, no breaks.
You know what I mean? You seem like when you love something, you go like all the way into it.
I think it's one of my best and worst qualities.
What it is?
Yeah,
because sometimes you've gone all the way full send into like shit you, like that ended up being useless or like you shouldn't have.
Yeah, I don't even know if any of it's useless because I think
everything's a lesson, right?
Yeah, as I think about life, it's like all of it's useful. Even when I dive, like I care way too much about American politics. I read about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I talk to people about it in Canada who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what an extreme waste of time. But I really wanted to be a politician when I...
Shit.
Yeah, when I wanted to go to poli-sci in university, and, like, people said it was stupid, so I never went. But you don't need a university poli-sci degree to be a politician. Donald Trump proved that.
Facts, yeah.
And you know what's funny? In my grade 9 yearbook, I wanted to have everybody vote me as most likely to be prime minister.
Yeah.
And you know what the reality of it was? Is all I had to do was go around and ask everybody to vote for me to be most likely to be prime minister.
Yeah. You're like, huh? This is what it's like.
Yeah. You know who won? This
Dude,
guy.
yeah.
Hilarious picture. Sag Loke in this like P&B graffiti shirt. I don't know if you remember that brand.
Way.
Shaved head, ripped, and I'm pointing at the camera, 2 fingers.
Did you have a backwards hat at the top above your?
They wouldn't let me wear it in school, but I would have. Yeah, I would have. And yeah, like whoever has that yearbook, that one's going down in history. Most likely to be prime minister. People will be like, shit, yeah, probably. If Donald Trump can do it, fuck, anybody can do it.
Dude.
Bernie Sanders is running 2020.
Feel the burn.
Dude, Bernie's my man. I wrote a song for fucking Bernie Sanders the last time it ran, and the whole thing was just sampling him and all the things that I liked the most about him.
And you like auto-tuned it and shit?
Yeah.
Put it to a beat?
Exactly. It was called Why Not? Because all of his speeches were like, why not? Why can't we have free education? Why can't we have free healthcare? Why not? Why not? And it was dope. I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you fucking drop that on the timeline, man.
Oh, dude, it's pretty fucking bad.
It's like whack, eh?
I feel like I listened back to it and it was like, ooh. My SoundCloud Pro membership renewed on its own recently.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing because I've had a few failed hard drives. And so now, like, the only place I can listen to a bunch of music I wrote is on SoundCloud, but it's all hidden.
Yeah, it's private.
It's private. So it's like, yeah, there's a whole album. There's a 25-track album called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Shit.
That I wish I had released in like 2015 when I had the idea, because I was like, when did Kanye do the unmastered, uncut thing?
Yeezus.
Yeah, was that it?
I don't know what year Yeezus was.
I feel like that was 2015, and I was like, fuck it, I should just put out all this shit too. And so some of it's bangers, and some of it's just garbage. One of those garbage tracks is definitely that Bernie Sanders track.
No, Yeezus was way before that. You mean Untitled? Kendrick did Untitled.
Oh, was it Kendrick Lamar who did the Untitled thing? Yeah, see, Kendrick Lamar, I'm getting you confused with Kanye West. That makes me pretty cool.
Yeah, because Kanye did the Yeezus shit, but that was really stripped down and like anti and like really abrasive, like crazy sounds.
There was I don't know if you...
What's your favorite Kanye album?
College Dropout.
Yeah.
Anybody that College Dropout isn't their favorite Kanye album is fucked.
That's not true. Not at all, bro.
Dude, that is so many hits. Those are so many hits.
So are the rest of the albums.
No way. A lot of them are like...
You're telling me 808s and Heartbreak isn't like hit season? Graduation isn't fucking amazing music? My Dark Twisted Fantasy isn't amazing music?
No, that one's bad. My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Listening through that album, it's pretty. I don't know.
That album is amazing, bro. His like actual rapping, he's rapping his best. Like he's rapping crazy good. The beats are so like still paying homage and like still like rap, but they're so grandiose and dressed up and like cinematic.
I fucking hated that
You're
album.
crazy.
Honestly, I think there's a hard part about me that maybe I stereotyped Kanye West. Like I thought he'd have to make good music.
Yeah.
No, hits. I wanted to fucking hear hits. I wanted to hear College Dropout. Like that
You gotta understand, artists grow, bro. You're not gonna get that again. Like,
I know, but as he grew,
he gave you it again, except a little bit more grandiose with Late Registration.
As he grew, I thought it was fucking whack.
Dude, Late Registration was amazing.
Oh no,
You are crazy.
Yeah.
So when did you make that decision and you haven't revisited it?
Oh man, it's probably been years.
Try again, bro. You're in a different place now.
I might.
And you're in it. You've lived. You've seen things. Try again.
The amount of time I have to listen to music is like really minimal, which is hard because I'm either editing or I'm like writing, and it's like I can't listen to tunes.
I'm saying try again, bro.
I will. I'll give it a. I'll give it a
Late
day.
Registration, amazing album. Graduation, amazing album.
Graduation's good.
Such a good album.
It's not as good
808s
as
and Heartbreak, when you're sad, trust me, bro.
College Dropout's the best one though, right?
I say, if I have to choose one, I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, bro.
Really? Oh,
Man,
I hate
fucking
that.
Devil in a New Dress, gorgeous. All of the lights, fucking that intro. Oh man, what was the other one? Blame Game. Oh my god, it's so good.
You liked All the Lights?
You know
was a
that
good
album, like the time leading up to before that with Good Fridays, dude, I remember that shit like crystal clear. That was probably my favorite time in music. Every week when Kanye was dropping in us some shit with like 6 of his friends who are like the craziest musicians in music. Oh, that was so exciting. There's one interview with someone to J. Cole's like, oh, you should do a song with fucking Kanye. He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Then 2 weeks later on Good Friday, it's like Kanye, J. Cole, Pusha, Sci-Hi, and like Big Sean. It's like, dude, who else could do that? It's fucking Kanye.
More content. That's why I'm stoked for this LA trip. I hope I can.
Kanye was.
I want to be that guy.
Yeah, Kanye was more content before more content. Every Friday he was giving you like an amazing song with like the craziest shit, with like produced by like him, Just Blaze, Swiss Beats, with like the craziest like legendary artists on it every week. That was an amazing time in music.
Giving it away for free.
Yeah, I feel like Kanye albums, for me at least, and like I've talked to some other people that are like this too. It's like your favorite changes with what depends on what mood you're in, honestly. Sometimes I'm in a Yeezus mood, like fuck everything, because like it's so cool how he went from My Dark Fantasy all dressed up and grandiose and cinematic, and then he did the anti with Yeezus dressed down like fucking like like distorted, like, you know what I mean, real like dark and abrasive and shit. But yeah, I feel like it changes with
You're
your
a Kanye fan.
Definitely, but he's definitely one of my greatest
Who's your favorite rapper?
all time. I don't know, man. I got like probably a top 5, but like currently at the moment,
Favorite artist ever? There's got to be one person, one album. There's like one defining one.
one album that like made me start rapping, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
That's it. Get Rich or Die Trying.
That's my favorite, one of the
But
favorite
is that
albums.
your favorite album ever? Like, is that one? Like, when was the last time you listened to Get Rich or Die Trying?
I still revisit it sometimes, to be honest.
They just put out a new fucking cover with Marvel that is so dope. Iron Man on the front. It is fucking sick.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta
I
go
didn't
cop
see
it.
that.
Hella limited.
That's cool as fuck.
It is dope.
But no, 50 definitely was a major influence. I'd say, man, like Future. I really love Future, man. Future's so good, and he's so like original with like just the pain that you feel from his shit. You can feel the pain, you know what I mean? And I feel a lot of artists now, like a lot of these rappers, they try to duplicate that pain when they haven't like felt it. Whereas like, I don't know, one of my friends told me that with my new shit. He's like, man, I don't know how you're just so chill and like you can like hang with anyone and like, you know, crack jokes, but then your shit is so personal and deep. Like, it sounds like you got a diary. He's like, it almost reminds me of Future.
I don't even know a
And I
fucking
was like,
Future
damn.
song. I couldn't even name you
I'll
one.
give you a couple recommendations, man. I'll give you like 5 like deep cuts that'll like
They're heat.
might start you up, but
Okay.
might not. But you know,
We'll see.
yeah, I'd say like up there, probably like fucking Kanye's definitely got to be up there, regardless of his antics. And like, I didn't like Ye, I'll be honest, I didn't like it, but you know, I'm realistic enough to say that like, yeah, one of my favorite artists. I didn't like that song. I didn't like that album, but like my main is probably like Future for sure. Currently or all time?
Both. Give me both.
Currently, it's Future, 03 Greedo, Key, Gunna, Young Thug, I'd say, and like Playboi Carti. Whereas all time would probably be like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Drake, Kanye. I guess you could throw Future in there all time. You could throw, yeah, Future has gotten me through some shit, man. Or Party Next Door as well. I love Party Next Door.
Crazy. Yeah. Those are, if I was naming top artists, I would never named any of those top artists.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know,
so interesting. I love hearing musical styles.
I kind of got over the whole, it has to be these same people that are like considered the greats. I'm just like, dude, fuck that. Like I've listened, actually Dre's Dr. Dre's music is like that Chronic album 2001, definitely one of my all-time favorite albums. Like
that was a game changer.
Exactly. That's like one of them. That's one of the more old head things about me. But now I'm just like, fuck, I've listened to that stuff a lot. Like I know that shit. Battle rap comes from that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I know that shit. I know lyrics, but it's like I know it inside out. I want to hear some new shit. You know
I like
what I mean?
Drake when he went hard. I like it when he does the hard beats. Actually, the moment I became a Drake fan, I always hated on him too. Because again, I'm a hip hop head.
You're just a hater.
I'm a fucking purist. Like you go into the basement, you look through my albums.
Fuck purist.
I'm
no
a fucking no, but like I'm like a purist that'll give it a chance.
Yeah. Okay.
And I saw that God's Plan video. It came up in a scroll. We were just watching YouTube one day, like music in the background.
Yeah.
And it started with like we had a budget of almost $1 million for this video, but we shot this and gave the money away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck, I like Drake." That was it. That was literally all it took to make me listen to the music.
Yeah.
And that one song made me listen to the new album. I would have been like that guy. Like I told you, fuck Lil Wayne. I'll never play this. I never would have played that album. And so
you probably like side A more than side B because that's like the rapping side, right?
Yeah. Side B gets pretty boring.
Yeah.
Side A, like non-stop, it's a heat track. God's Plan, heat track. Love those two. Like those are two bangers.
I really like Is There More?
Yeah, I can even speak to it because that's how much attention I paid to the every other track.
Fair enough. But yeah, what's it called? I'm telling you, Carter 1 and Carter 2. Carter 2 is I personally like it more, but Carter 1 is great too.
It's my favorite album ever.
You should revisit those Lil Wayne albums. What, JD Donuts?
Yeah.
Classic. You're really a purist, damn.
Yeah. Well, he's a producer,
You're
rapper.
not dusty, man. I've noticed most purists are dusty.
Yeah. No.
They're just dusty. They're like not chill dudes.
No, it happens. Because they're fucking just caught up in their shit. I don't know. Like, it's my way or the highway. Like, these are the guys that, like, they only smoke joints. And you're like, okay.
That's funny. Don't categorize the people that only smoke joints, man. Come on, not everyone's dusty that only smokes joints.
No.
Wiz, like, most for the point. Wiz is a good example of the joint team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he, like, I don't know. That's because he's an addicted smoker.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the big separation. Like, cannabis consumption should use the technology that's at hand. Mm-hmm. And I wrote it in an article about the modern host. Like, I honestly think joints are prehistoric. Mm-hmm. Like, I love smoking backwoods. We smoked backwood when you got here. I love smoking backwoods.
Same.
So much.
It's the best.
Fuck, it sucks, though. Like, literally, the best example I've heard lately is smoking a cigar, especially, is like, or a backwood, is like drinking out of the hose.
It is like a funnel.
Right? You're like just getting a few sips in there as this thing is just gushing. Yeah. And that's,
this thing is gushing.
Like, we have this thing, like, we could have kept going until there's nothing in the Puffco, and gotten every little bit of THC. Where the backwood, it's just burning.
It's rocking, yeah.
It fucking stinks because most of it's burning off into the outside.
Yeah, it's a funnel. It's a big ass funnel.
And that's why I think it's prehistoric, and that's why it's for the fucking purists, because they're dusty.
What, backwoods are?
No, just smoking joints or backwoods. Both, man. Like, smoking weed itself is kind of fucking crazy. As the world changes, like, the edibles market is 40% of the market in the United States.
And people are really fuck with edibles too. That's true.
It's a much nicer, casual way to consume cannabis.
Yeah.
And then you look at essential oils. You can consume way less, and you don't have to incinerate plant matter.
Do you still get geeked up from those? I've never gotten geeked from them. I never tried it.
From edibles?
No, from essential oils.
Like dabs?
Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah, I call dabs essential oils.
That's fire. I dig that.
Because it's just the essential oils of cannabis.
It is essential oil.
But yeah, like, this is the future. This is where most of the market goes, and the people that smoke flowers are like, they're smokers. Like, there's no. I smoke backwoods because I used to be a 2-pack a day smoker.
Yeah.
I'm not going to smoke cigarettes anymore But the only reason I smoke backwoods is because I like that.
You know, I've been smoking weed for like almost half my life now, and I never smoked cigarettes, but I love backwoods. Just the rich smoke of it, and just like how nice it does give you that extra buzz. You get tuned, but it's like just that rich smoke, man. You just want to like have funny I say this, but it just makes you want to have a glass of red wine with your girl. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's that thick smoke.
I don't have to tell you that of all people, right?
But you like the smoke, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
like a rich smoke, you know?
And that's the only thing that's keeping rolled cannabis alive, is that people just enjoy smoking.
Yeah, the act of it. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I just love smoking a nice backy and having a little sip of good drink, lean. That's my pairing. You know what I mean? Like Blue Mountain Dew or like pineapple soda.
Blue Mountain Dew or pineapple.
I have a song called Blue Mountain Dew. I'll show you it, bro. It's fucking beautiful.
It's a heater.
Beautiful R&B song. Yeah.
Blue Mountain Dew. That's
just
me.
to get my mind off you.
Oh
Trust
yeah,
me.
you got a nice singing voice. I'm tone deaf.
Say word.
Yeah, this is one of the other fucked up things. Why I talk about the sour keys often is like I can learn music and the math of music. Same with me being colorblind. I know what color is. I understand color because I've had to learn it the way that you've taught it to me.
Oh shit.
Might
So,
not
like,
sound
what
right.
color does that globe look like?
Well, it's blue, and there's like pink and yellow and green and orange on it, right?
What the fuck? Okay.
But like the way the doctor, because I had to get visual confirmation from an optometrist to get my driver's license when I found out I was colorblind. That was the only way, because I'm trying to look at dots when I'm getting my driver's license, and I'm like, there's no numbers in there. There's no numbers in there. And they're like, oh, you're colorblind. And I'm like,
There's no numbers in where?
the test is like they basically put a whole bunch of dots with similar colors inside of a circle, and then you either see the number or you don't.
Yes.
And if you don't see the number, you're colorblind.
Okay.
So I didn't see
that makes
anything.
sense, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're colorblind. You have to go to the optometrist to get visual confirmation.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like, what? And the optometrist was like, this is pretty stupid because traffic lights are set up so that you don't actually have to see color.
Yeah.
But it's not like I see black and gray. Like, I literally see, in my mind, I see every fucking color you do.
Yeah.
But it's apparent on a lot of levels, and it's become apparent as I get older and older that I don't see color the same.
Like shades. You don't see shades.
I'm lost. Like, you know,
You see like the base color.
yeah, like I'll see shades. If I look at foliage, I'll see greens, multiple greens, but I'm not seeing as many greens as you.
Yeah. Not as many like hues.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Damn, that's not that bad then.
no, but it's still like
I don't see gray. I did that. That would be hectic. Yeah.
It's still a learning thing. Like light green and pink and light pink, gone. Absolutely nothing.
Oh man.
Burgundy.
No Barbie
and
toys?
brown.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So what color is wine then? Like red wine?
That's the hardest thing
That's
because
fucked.
on my level, the way that I have to do stuff, I actually get graded on the color that I'm saying it is, and it's also a very indicative thing for your decision making in blind tasting is understanding the color, because different grapes are different colors and different blends come out different ways.
And white wine, even some of it's different colors.
It's all different colors depending on age. So some of the things I had to do, again, because I learned color, I just have to learn from somebody and adapt to what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Like orange might not be orange. Orange might be brown. You've just been taught it's orange.
I know what you mean.
And that's like me looking at wine.
That's like the theory of like the light is just nothing is really real. It's just the way light is hitting our eyes. You know what I mean? And light just hits your eyes in different ways.
Yeah. So I had to adapt I look at wine like very intently, and I always stare on top of it. It's the way you're supposed to do it, and look at the rim. But then I also took it out of the glass and I would place it on paper. And I would watch the pigment on paper, and I would learn, and I'd associate that data point with the wine as I learned it, as I blind tasted it, as I continually did that and collected that data. I just had to make that mental association with like, this is the pigment. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just nuts. But there's only so many ways you can learn. You have to adapt. You have to.
So when you put it on the white paper, could you tell? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you can totally tell.
Okay, word.
They're all extremely different shades, because once you put it on paper, it's literally paint, right? Like it's pigment. It's beautiful. Like I would love to paint with different shades of red wine.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be super dope.
Yeah, like rosé, Zinfandel and shit.
I fucking hate Zinfandel. There's one wine that I suggest nobody ever buy. Zinfandel.
How come?
Sucks ass, man. It's like high alcohol, high sugar, usually only growing in California. It's also grown in Italy and called Zweigelt.
Zweigelt. It sounds hectic.
Yeah.
What's the best place in the world for wine?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
it's France, and even more smaller, it's Burgundy.
Oh, is that a place?
Yeah, it's a region in France where they only make Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, and that's really like the home of. It's by Champagne as well, but what they found, it's amazing. There's so much history there and so much Renaissance history.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best places is Corton Charlemagne, where Charlemagne was put after she married the French king.
Mm-hmm.
But what people found, because there's such deep religious sects there, was all these monks had time to do was get drunk and write about it.
Yeah.
And so they literally found that like these vines in this spot taste better than these ones. And so there's this breakdown of classification in Burgundy.
Yeah.
Grand Cru, Premier Cru, village level.
Yeah.
But there's like first growth, second growth, third growth, fourth growth, fifth growth, so on and so forth. And so you can see the provenance of all of these vines and all these wines, and you can know how long this vine's been alive. You can see
like trees.
Yeah, you can literally taste through history, though, because this has created a product that's viable and it's a regenerative plant. You can taste through history how this has changed.
Yeah.
And it's just why Burgundy's so special. Pinot Noir is the heartbreak grape.
What is it called that?
It's thin skin. It's fickle.
Heartbreak.
It's very hard to grow.
Yeah.
But it's the best tasting.
Yeah, Pinot Noir, eh?
Oh, yeah, Pinot Noir for red, Riesling for white. But in Burgundy, they drink
on the right side of the white discussion.
They drink Chardonnay.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 grapes permitted by law to be grown: Pinot Noir, Chardonnay.
Oh, okay.
And the Chardonnay, the way they do it. So some of the other things that make it special is there's Burgundian oak.
Okay.
And oak is these trees are very special because it's an expression of the land. There's this word, this all-encompassing word that goes all the way down to the macro in French wine terminology. It's called terroir.
Yeah.
And terroir is like the place, like the soil consistency, the bugs in the soil.
Okay, like the nutrients and shit.
Even further, like the way the wind blows.
Holy fuck!
They
got it down to that like fine of details.
Because there's so much history around it, and this is one of the things I talk about with cannabis all the time, is we can know the difference between these things. Like there are individual, extremely special things in cannabis, and there's a reason why some plants are better than others, and terroir is a beautiful expression. But what they've recorded is like the terroir in specific places, like literally a vine, like 10 vines inside of a row will be like this Grand Cru row that's worth 10x everything surrounding it because it's perfect, and there's something going on down below that's been recorded through history that makes it better than everything else.
The Burgundy region.
But then you take the oak into consideration, and it's telling another story of the place, and it's just so rich and beautiful, and I can't say enough.
That's cool.
Yeah, but the Pacific Northwest makes great Pinot Noir as well.
Word.
BC, Oregon, Washington, I fuck with that stuff.
They go hard, eh? You know, I used to think, so Pacific Northwest also, fuck, I remember that. I used to think Pinot Noir meant black penis in French.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because, you know, Pinot, penis, Noir.
Penis Noir, that's fair.
Take my girl up for some Pinot Noir. I was like, all right, maybe it's not black penis.
Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio are just genetic mutations of Pinot Noir.
Yeah, because the Pinot Grigio is a lot more common, right? I feel like...
No, it's just growing more.
Oh, okay.
Like, it just went... the grape went albino.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, they're genetic relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So, super interesting. But that one's just vinified completely different. Anyways.
What about Cabernet? When I was in Colombia, I had some really interesting Argentinian Cabernet.
Yeah, Argentina's a great place. Same with Chile.
Yeah,
if you're looking for value wines and you're like shopping, especially for red wines, some whites, South America is the best value, without a doubt. Especially even if you look into like Spain, Well, Spain's not in South America. But yeah, so Argentina, basically what happened in the Second World War and the Mussolini era was tons of Italians left Italy to go to Argentina and Chile because the land was super cheap.
Oh, shit.
But they brought wine culture with them.
Yeah.
And it grows fantastic. Like, there's these amazing advantages in Argentina where literally deserts are laying at the foothills of the Andes, like the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, mountains, yeah.
So it creates these amazing climates where you get like the cooling at night from the mountains, but you get the heat of the day from the desert. And again, yeah, growing conditions are cheap, land's cheap, great wines. Like, there's lots of good value there. But there's a lot of crap there as well.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing is, like, you know, you could be like, oh, I like Argentinian cab.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's 100,000 of them.
Yeah, weird. I forgot the name, but we were at a pretty classy spot, so I guess, I don't know, it seemed like it was legit, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know my red wines that well, but I fuck with, like I said, Riesling.
You'd be surprised how quickly the fancy spots bamboozle you.
Yeah?
Most restaurants are charging 300% on a bottle of wine that they bought.
Damn.
That's their wholesale cost,
Yeah.
and a retail store is usually taking about 40 points. So they're taking, they usually not double it, but
Just under.
yeah. So if at a retail store, a $16 bottle is probably gonna be on the shelf at 25. That $16 bottle, depending on the restaurant, like I sold bottles to some where they would put that one in for, well, $46 to $48 is a good rule of thumb for a $16 bottle of wine. That's like a $50 bottle of wine in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I had one place I sold a $13 bottle of wine to that sold for $72.
That's crazy. That's 4 times.
Yeah. No, that's way more.
13 times 5.
Yeah, that's greasy. That's
Like
65.
No,
yeah.
I'm wrong.
That's greasy.
Yeah, that's so fucked either way, yeah.
That's a moneymaker. And you buy that on LTO because that's another thing you can do because companies have to run limited time offers to incentivize sales. Make you buy cases so that they push it to their customers.
Yeah, yeah.
If that restaurant bought on a sale, they're probably paying $11.
Jeez. The finesse is real.
The finesse is real. 6 times the money. Intense.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. Yeah. Wine. Greasy thing. Drink some Pinot Noir. Drink some Gamay. Some Grenache.
Yeah. That's the wave.
There's just so much to look for, right? Like when you walk into a wine store, what are you looking for? Do you ever buy wine? You buy Riesling.
Yeah, I buy Riesling sometimes.
What, a specific brand?
Not even, man. I just like look at the ones that like just look the most interesting to me, and like if the color looks nice, kind of, because I can't really like see what's good. I've noticed like a lot of the German. There's usually is German ones, but like I don't really know what to look for.
How much money do you spend on a bottle of wine?
Like $20.
Yeah, I feel like that's the average.
Yeah.
Getting people to spend over 25 is hard.
Yeah.
$30 is where the great wine is.
Yeah. Hey.
That's kind of like the spot where it's like you can get a lot of $30 bottles of wine that taste like $100 or $500 bottles of wine.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah, but
Okay.
20. But that's not to say like there's thousands of bottles, $30 bottles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of crap. I guess it's just learning the finesse. Like I know.
Next time I go grab wine, I'm gonna definitely send you the pic.
Yeah, call me up or whatever. FaceTime me. Liquor Depot. This is a good pro tip if you're in Alberta.
Yeah.
Veuve Clicquot champagne.
I actually do get that one sometimes.
It's only like it's $5 over wholesale at
Yeah.
Liquor Depot. So if you buy 6 of them, they give you 10% off.
That's pretty chill.
Yeah, and then you're literally like 40 cents above wholesale.
Yeah, that's chill.
Yeah, so that's a good one. If you if you want a good
Vive Clicquot.
Yeah, even though it's like, you could probably get better champagne for cheaper. Or if you don't...
That's not a Riesling, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Okay.
It's what's in champagne.
Yeah. Oh, really? It's all Pinot Noir?
And Chardonnay.
Oh, shit.
And a little bit of Pinot Meunier.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, rosé champagne is Pinot Noir.
Damn, man.
I know, we're in it. We're wine nerding.
Yeah, fuck. I've learned so much today. I feel like much more of a distinguished gent.
I love it. Okay, well, on that note, since you feel more distinguished, we're like 2.5 hours in.
Oh,
Hopefully
really?
people listen that far.
Yeah, maybe. If you're still here, thank you.
We're gonna drop a secret song at the end.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it for sure. So why don't you give? I want you to give some parting words. Like if you could tell, if you had a microphone,
Which I do.
yeah, what you do, and a platform, what you do.
Yeah.
What would you say to the world?
Fuck, I'd say love like you've never been hurt before.
Mm.
That's pretty philosophical. I don't know if that's just, you know.
That was deep.
And I'd say, yo, new music dropping this very soon. I'm just getting the fucking visuals right, but
Give us all the handles.
it might not even need to be that right. At Harm Franklin on Instagram, at Harm Franklin on Twitter, at Harm Franklin on SoundCloud, Harm Space Franklin on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Deezer, wherever you listen to music, I'm there. Yeah, fucking probably gonna be throwing my next show end of March. I'll be on Toronto soon, so you know, look out for all this shit.
Crushing it. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the
having
chat.
me, bro.
That's awesome.
Mad love, G.
Mad love. Cheers. And thank you everybody for listening.